Hey, greetings, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to Chats with Jack. This is Jack Talcott. It is Talcott time. And I want to thank those who've already shown up. Some familiar names: Freedom Grower, Austin Murphy, Jessica Jane, Quantum Epic, Eric Lieberman, Moose, our singer. Golly geez, I just feel blessed. Chuck in Tennessee, and I'm sure it'll keep continuing. Hopefully, I didn't miss any. But I reviewed a couple of the more recent streams and went back and tried to pay some attention to the chat. For those who are familiar with me, I do my best and I'm growing and learning and figuring it out. Where I'm going with this is I saw some real support from people in the chat. Some comments I genuinely received as, you know what, thank you. So I took the liberty and added some new moderators, some additional moderators to in the chat. So if it's not something you want, speak up. And if it is something you seek, please. I'll freely share some responsibility for those who want to help maintain order and help maintain a beautiful, I don't know, a more pleasant dynamic for what this show and what these videos, what the experience is to bring. Sherelle Snow, thank you. You were one who started me down that road. Thank you. So tonight I wanted to start with the clip, the thumbnail again, the quote from Paramahansa Yogananda. Kindness is the light that dissolves all walls between souls, families, and nations. You know, I wanted a message of what I hope to share. You know, that's what I'm trying to do when I come with the selections and the quotes that I do. And kindness, man. We all know kindness, especially when we receive it, when we feel it. We know the value of kindness, and kindness truly is. It's like an invisible light. It's like an unseen force and power that illuminates the connection between each of us. Kindness is the light that dissolves the walls between us. Beautiful, isn't it? And so tonight, I want to share some kindness, some inspiration, some fellowship, maybe, for those with the ability and interest. I pinned the link to the chat. So please feel free to join as you wish and as you feel guided. But I had some inspiring conversations today offline with our friend Aaron. For those who are familiar with the channel and what's been going on, Aaron and I had some good positive conversations again today. And one of the topics that he mentioned, it just resonated with me for a topic of discussion here. And, you know, not just maybe here, but maybe carry these conversations elsewhere with you. And please consider, what would it mean to become an agent of peace? What could that mean for you? Because the conversation we were talking about, and it's been demonstrated not just on my channel here, not just on these platforms, but on various other platform discussions, and it's quite, what I'm discussing is it's quite everywhere. Conflicts, unresolved disagreements, the patterns of just enabling disagreements for years, creating a whole bunch of disagreeable people, in my opinion. But hey, I'm just one opinion. But to bring that in, where I'm focused on, I do consider myself as an agent of peace. My words and message have been quite clear. I mean, I think I'm following the example of peace. Jesus, Yeshua, he was the example of peace we're supposed to accept, embrace, become. So I'm trying to do that. But so I was thinking, all right, what's an agent of peace? Well, here's what I've come to realize, and it is just right. It's obvious. It's right in front of our eyes. It's supported by scripture. When you've got people engaged in conflict, right? Who is the best? Who is in the best position to help resolve? Those not involved, right? That's why I'm so frustrated at the governance of the United States of America right now, because rather than exercising diplomacy, negotiation, using the power of truth to resolve, rather than our nation focusing on ending the conflicts between Russia and Ukraine, between Palestine and Israel, between all around the world, rather than us working to resolve, we have been picking sides and funding. What the? We don't need to pick sides in a fight. We need to pick the side of truth. And the side of truth is that disagreements can be resolved, conflicts and wounds can be healed. The truth is, this is our lifetime to change this world, brothers and sisters. Took me over 40 years to realize that. So, as an agent of peace for myself, what I do seek to do is introduce myself into conflicts when I see them, and I try and bring resolve. And as I'm saying this, to reflect and ensure the accuracy of my words, yes, I can say I've done this in many different ways. I've had a guest in the back waiting, and now there's another arrived. So please, let's open this up. Scott to be live. Thank you. Welcome again, brother. And Drew.
Hey, what's up, Jack Talcott?
How you doing, Jack?
Brothers, I feel blessed.
This is Chalk Body Outline or Chalk Body Outline. I've heard it Cock Chalk. I haven't met you before yet, Drew, but how are you doing?
Wait, are you Scott?
No, I'm Jim Shoes, but I know Scott. Yeah, I'm Scott.
Are you the dude that kicked your mama's door down?
How about
the one hitter?
That did happen.
Really? I saw a picture of you, a mugshot of you. It said you kicked your mama's door down, a $500,000 house, when you got caught with a one hitter.
You checking me out, huh? Yeah, no, it was my house. I was living in it, and
but your mama owned it, so you put it in your mama's name.
Yeah, it was one of them stories, but
you got to do what you got to do.
Long and short of it is, I'm still fighting that, and the bitch of it is, I just told him, I mean, get the fuck out of here. This is my house. The writ of possession hadn't come through, nor a notice to vacate, so there was no reason they should have been there at all. So, but they're tyrants, and fucking, what are you supposed to do?
You did or you did not kick the door down?
Well, I mean, allegedly I did. Allegedly I did, but I mean, I had everything. My car was in the garage. I stayed the night at my mom's house the night before and was like, fucking, she wasn't doing well. She's not. I'm here right now. And fuck.
So was this recent?
Well, in January.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going through back and forth with the judges and shit, and
right.
For all intents and purposes, it's a nightmare because the system is flawed and these people are tyrants and they're just doing it for private personal gain. And, it's indecent at best. So yeah, I'm still dealing with that, Drew. You caught me, and that's me.
You got three first names.
Yeah, actually I got a couple others too. It just depends where you look.
Hey,
Okay.
I want to interrupt this conversation because, Drew, this is a good opportunity. You're sitting here kind of ignoring me, yet I've seen in the chat you've made some interesting comments about me being a maniac, being,
Rage cop.
yeah. So what's your agenda, brother?
What I see is I see the deep underlying seething hate inside of you, Jack, and you wear the mask of the love and light new age to cover it.
Why
Is
do you
that
see that in him? Seriously, that
right? Is that because that's
That's what
Drew?
I see.
Drew, right. Look within you to identify the source of what you are
You know,
projecting.
the mask has slipped a couple times on you.
Hey, Drew, understood. Okay, I'm human, but you're acting like you've got this supernatural judgment and discernment. I think this might be one of the we haven't really engaged in much discussion together. So, here's what I do know though, brother, is you're a man of faith, right? I believe you've got morals and you stand for what you believe is right. I don't discredit you in many ways. I actually admire a lot of things I've heard you say, but here's what I know about me. People like to project their sins upon me. I'm an example of many others, but I actually know this is for sure. And it's really kind of easy to see once you surrender the ego, man. So what I'm suggesting is what you described revealed something that's within you that's probably true for you. And because it's true for many of us, like you said.
That was a long-winded way to say know you. That's literally what you just said. That was the level of your argument was know you.
Can you accept that, even though I took a long way of saying it?
No, because I can cast judgment on you. I can look at you and determine things.
are you without
But,
sin?
but you
No.
can't accept that what you were describing is actually what you are doing with me. The false accuser, right? The adversary of the truth. That's what you've shown to me, Drew, and you're a better man than that. I know you have fun, and I know you don't do this with ill intention, but brother, I'm telling you, as an honest man, a reflection of you, this is pretty cool because if you can accept my words and look at it, you'll learn something about yourself. And you'll be one of the very first who might accept my words in a long time. That'd be pretty cool. I've been waiting for the day people allow themselves to.
All I want from you, Jack, is to see you just embrace the rage. I think that's what we all want to see. We want to see you go to the dark side.
That is what people want to see because it makes them feel better about themselves.
No, because we don't want the bullshit frosting on top. We want the real Talcott.
But that's where it's dishonest because I know who I am when I'm not raging. I'm fucking fun. I'm generous. I got a great sense of humor. I'm actually, I got some creative ideas.
I like the taco meat. You're showing the taco meat tonight with the chain. I think yeah, there you go.
Well, the
You're
weather's
trying to get them views
changing.
up, trying to get them ratings.
Hey, if it works, man.
Yeah, I bet it does.
The weather changed. It's over 80 degrees today. It's just friggin' gorgeous, man.
What's your story, Drew? Why do you think that this guy, I mean, Jack's a nice guy. He obviously has gone through some broken glass in his life, okay? And we all get cut along the way. And, maybe there's a few wounds that are open on him. And I just see people just trying to pull at him. They're like, oh, don't let that close up on him. Don't let that, just rip at it some more. And not that there's anything wrong with a little bit of gentle ribbon among men, but when it crosses the line and it's just fucking abuse, then it becomes a questionable affair. And that's where I'm like, okay, I think some of this may go to a little past the extent it should. And I've noticed that in different arenas. And I'm just an outside observer, taking my fucking few punches that I take, getting into it. But then at the same time, just trying to look at everybody with a level fucking look and say, what's the best way for you to experience this, or for the people that are viewing you to experience it? And that's how I would be approaching it, just for, posterity's sake, for real.
What's your thoughts, Drew? I allowed my mind to drift to chat there for a minute. What's that?
I'm not sure if that was a question or what. But
it's pretty much a statement, but I mean, it was more of a question of where are you coming from. It started out with, what are your thoughts? Why would you go at Jack to try and pick at the wound rather than to go, hey, well, let's find out what else is going on, and then let's narrow the gap on, okay, I think you're a rager, and that's what I want to see. And he's going, no, I'm clearing my head of the past, and that's appealing, definitely. Clearing my head of that and trying to move forward. If you consider yourself a Christian or a good person, wouldn't you want to facilitate that for him?
I like how it's always the people that deny Christ that have the way that people that believe in it, Christ should live.
Oh, is Jack denying Christ?
No, but I'm talking generally in this panel. Maybe not you guys, but
that's what I was going to say. I don't know. I mean, what I'd have to do to you to prove, and I'm not even going to go down that road.
Right.
But
I don't think anyone here is
necessarily you, but I encounter this every day. But
I don't think anyone here is rejecting Christ. But Drew, here's what I want you to consider. I think God is hilarious. All right. You're rejecting me. If you can accept I'm you, you are me, that we are just one at this time together, then you might believe and maybe consider some of the opportunities that I've been saying. This live without fear, I actually trust it is a message from our Creator for us as people to receive and to share with one another, because that's what the gospel was. That's what the gospel is the good news. The good news.
All is one.
It's what science proves. It's what science proves, and it's actually what the religions were teaching.
What about good and evil? Are they one?
Yes, it is.
No,
we here. We can discuss this. I'm happy to.
There's no discussion.
Tell me what you think. Hold on, good and evil. Okay. What? Repeat that.
So there's good and there's evil, and the battle lines are drawn. It's not the same thing.
Are you familiar with the yin yang? Are you familiar with the meaning behind it?
With the yin yang, yep.
Are you familiar with the meaning behind it?
Yep.
What is the darkness with the light in it? What does that light represent?
I don't know, man.
You don't know? I thought you said you're familiar with what it means.
You're trying to equate an Eastern.
Yes, well, I'm going somewhere. If you let me, don't stop me. Just go ahead and follow along. If you want to help out and let me do this with you, I'll ask a few questions. You give a few answers, and we can move forward. Or you can just say, "Oh, I already know."
Well, I do already know. So
then tell me. I asked the question.
What's the question? The yin yang? Do I know what the yin yang is?
There's darkness on one side, there's light on the other. There's darkness in the light, and there's light in the darkness. What does that all mean?
I mean, it could mean a lot of things. It's a symbol.
It means something very specific. Please tell me what it means. You said you know.
Interpreted how you want it to be, right?
It's just a symbol that's interpreted how you want it to be interpreted.
But that's what you believe the Bible is, right?
No. I think you're wrong. It was put
together. Let me try a different approach, please.
Okay.
Let me try a different.
Let me come back and explain it to him.
Well, Drew,
what you're saying is good and evil are two sides of the exact same spectrum.
Drew, hold on.
Right?
Drew, you mentioned good and evil. There's a line in the sand. It's been drawn, and the distinctions are clear. I won't disagree. Now, it's just like, though, hot and cold. Okay. They are the same, just varying in degrees. Good and evil are judgments of an experience.
No, they're
No,
actions.
possibly, but
Not possibly.
resulting
Demonstrably.
in
I request
after.
30 more seconds. 30 more seconds, Jack.
All right.
All right. The darkness is chaos. The light is order. When you have the smallest piece of light in the darkness, that represents order out of chaos. When you in the chaos, when you have to have the darkness or the light rather with a little small piece of darkness, it shows that the darkness can overtake the light if you let it. Now, look, this is you're being dark. You're literally trying to act as if you're a God fearing. Yeah, you know what? Now you're a jerking off chimpanzee.
So
I have no time for somebody that's got brains
yeah,
that
can you hear me?
literally
Hey,
are digressing in their own
Can you hear
mind.
me?
yeah, yes, TB, welcome. And Scott, thank you. We're going to allow this. We'll
Go kick your mama's door down again,
see where
Scott.
this goes. Welcome,
Bye.
TB.
I don't need to challenge you. You're actually just a disappointment to yourself. You know
So
that,
Scott,
don't you?
let
When
me
you
ask
look
you
in there.
something. Scott, let me ask you something. So you think good and evil are just created things in the world? They just exist on their own?
Who is this down? Oh, toilet bowl.
This,
Okay.
yeah.
Listen, no. I've gone through some. If Cockbody Outline knows me, evidently as he thinks, he should do some more research because I've seen good and evil straight up. Okay, I know what evil's all about. I've looked.
Hit his elderly mama's door down with a one hitter.
Hey,
Yeah, that's a big deal, isn't it? Oh, I'm a bad
Scott,
guy. I went in to
Scott,
get my own stuff. Yeah, I live
So-
there.
hey, I want to
So-
interrupt this for a purpose, okay? With respect, though. This isn't Scott's channel, okay? This is my
Bring it back
stream.
to Talcott.
Well, this is my
So good.
stream. This what Scott is saying. I can sit back and allow him to explain, but TBE, I've actually been wanting to have conversations with both of you guys because I know there's been things said about me and those who I've spent time with. So please.
My understanding of good and evil is evil does not exist on its own. Evil is a departure from good. This
Very
is the
good.
story of
Very
man.
good.
But it's not a created thing. It doesn't exist on its own. Okay, it is parasitic in nature. It takes good things and corrupts it to its conclusion.
But the
Money
darkness-
isn't bad, but it can depart from something good to something evil. So it starts at something good. It feeds off of good. Okay. But it doesn't exist on its own. This is just the fallen nature of man that rejects God.
Jack, do you
God-
mind if I share my story real quick? Because Drew might
Okay,
need to
I
hear
guess I
this.
wasn't talking. It's okay. Continue.
No, I'm
Well-
sorry, but I understand. I have a very personal story that I don't want to talk about, but I think you guys need to hear it. You heard about my mom. Do you know what I'm dealing with, Drew? Do you want to know? She's elderly in bed, can barely get up right now, and I take care of her every day. You know why? Because her mother would have done it for all of us. Her mother, you know what happened to her? Check into it. She was stabbed right by Disney, fucking 56 times. My grandfather, he was stabbed 9 times when he walked in on the guy that did it, a 26-year-old punk who thought he knew everything. Okay, so now I find myself in a courtroom with this man who's killed both of my grandparents. And I have to sit down and hold myself to a bench for not 1 week, not 2 weeks, but almost 3 weeks. And then another whole trial because I had one thing I wanted to do is go at him and tear his head off. But instead, I sat there and realized what Paul Wallace, the prosecutor, told me was true. If I made one move at this guy, that I'd never be there another day for my own mother. And as hard as it was, that very next time I walked into the courtroom, I had to forgive this motherfucker. And I did. And to this day, I still hold a place in my heart for a man that did horrible shit to my family for one reason and one reason only. I promised myself and I promised the Father that I could do my best to forgive that man. And I did. And I do. I
Hey,
don't think
Scott.
he knew what the fuck he was doing.
Scott, thank you for sharing that. And I don't know the connection, but You know, Drew, I don't even know what brought on the prosecution or interrogation from you to begin with. We're each going through our own stories. Everyone has different issues that we're dealing with.
Hey,
Thank
Jack,
you for sharing, Scott.
could you, Jack,
Please.
could you solo my screen for a second? Can I show something just for a second?
Yeah,
You're gonna show me up on. He's gonna put me up on the screen. You don't.
Now this is
What a complete fool.
before and after finding the Paul on Slave channel right here. This is before on the left, and then after you find the channel on the right.
Hey, correlation does not necessarily mean causation.
So after I'm
and
abused by the police, after I've been moving
Right.
shit out of my house all fucking before they got there, I mean, you know, I get there and I'm like, okay, well, they fucking locked me out, so let me just grab my shit and go. And then they come and fucking 10 people strong act like they're fucking, you know, Roman army against one man. So
Hey,
fucking,
Scott.
way to go.
Scott, you don't have to defend the facts.
Oh, I'm not.
See
It's
what
not.
you're
It's.
saying,
I'm
man.
actually proud that I would stand up against these fucking tyrants. There's no way I wouldn't do it again, over and over.
Amen.
Have, will, do. So, Drew, actually, you just have a real small spine, lowly sort of individual, if I would call it as it is.
I've actually, Drew, I'd please allow you to respond, but I'm kind of agreeing with Scott. I've been disappointed in some of the attacks I've seen from you. Reactions,
Disappointed.
Maybe.
That was
Petty.
great
You're
content,
petty.
Jack. What are you talking about?
You're just petty. You don't even know me. You tag me
Petty.
for no reason.
Okay. Here. Learning, if I may.
Hold on.
Okay.
You just to your point that good and evil are the same thing. Don't you think that's where the communist agenda goes, and then man and woman is the same, and everything, transgender agenda, and all this other stuff? Don't you think that's the manifestation of that same thinking?
What about the capitalist manipulation that we're experiencing currently?
What does that have to do with showing my fucking shit and my fucking name and trying to put me out in public? Are you just trying to divert the subject, or do you want to stand up like a man and face the question I just asked you like a man? Or are you a boy, a small version of a man that hasn't grown up and lost the boy yet?
Please repeat your question, Scott.
How many kids you got? None?
Hey, Drew.
All of them.
Drew, what the hell are you doing, man?
What do you mean?
Trying to dox me because he's just a peasant who sits at home and has nothing better to do.
How is that doxing you? Your name's Scott B. It's scottb.com. It's a public website.
So,
but Drew, what are you attempting to achieve? Oh, right here. I accepted your answer that it was what do you call it? Content. But Drew, entertainment is distracting the slaves from ending the corruption, from ending the who the hell is that? I don't even know who that is, man. That's me. I don't know who that is. It looks like it's at my house. Anyway, hey, I'm a friendly man. It doesn't surprise me people got pictures of me hugging them or smiling.
You should do more with your time, Drew.
Right? Drew, what could we do? Tell you what, Drew.
How can we fix you? How can we fix you're the one that's broken here. You're actually
the man with a wife and kids and overcome all kinds of battles with my life. I'm the one that needs help, right?
You're acting real low.
Well,
how's that low?
You're just a lowly individual.
So you don't like to be confronted with the truth.
I don't care.
We can all raise each other up when we accept that there's room for ourselves to grow. So, Drew, you are presenting like an energy of chaos and disruption and deflection. You know,
but everything's one. So how is that bad?
What's that?
If everything's one, how is that bad?
Well, because I'm glad you brought this up. We can bring this back to the topic of good and evil, right? What is good? Good is that which is life-bringing and helpful and loving. So that means the truth. So fellowship amongst those who care about the truth would be like inspiring and supportive conversations, maybe even enlightening discussions. But the Antichrist, that which opposes the truth, that which opposes God and the good, that agent is within each of us, Drew. And God bless you, brother. Please look at your behavior.
Whoa. I ain't got no Antichrist in me, bro.
I've seen it, dude. I've
But
seen you.
that's what
Speak for
we said
yourself.
about you.
Right. Hey,
And you're
I
saying
admit
anything we see in you, it can't be true. It's just the inner reflection of ourself is
Is
basically
he
your.
attacking? Is he attacking anybody? I mean, listen, the yin yang, the darkness in the light, that means the good showing up or the evil. The good taking over the evil or the evil taking over the good is what it means. So do you want to be the light in the darkness, or do you want to be the darkness in the light, Drew? That's the point here. Do you
I
want to be
reject the
in Jack's
darkness.
show? Jack's trying to bring a light-hearted show together. He's trying to be a nice guy and help people come along and believe in something more than themselves, like you,
I
self-serving
don't know.
individual. He's trying to believe in himself and them, and you want to believe in you. You want to come and be the darkness in the light room that he's trying to shine. And that's exactly what's happening. Instead of otherwise, you come in and say, oh, maybe there is a little darkness to Jack that I see, but let me not say anything about it. I'll be the light. See, you have it all backwards. You think you're good, but you're pathetically wrong, and that's sad. I feel bad for you. But welcome to the reality of what just happened.
Scott
Did you
is
wreck
being,
me so bad, bro?
hey, Drew, Scott is being honest with you. And
From a perception of a person that believes good and evil are the same thing, yeah, it probably makes sense.
That's your
well,
statement. I
Drew,
didn't say that.
Drew,
I said
No,
here's
you're
that's not.
absolutely
I
diametrically
rejected
opposed.
that statement.
But you have to have good, or
here's
there's no
another
evil. You can't have
Scott,
evil. There's no good. It's black
Scott,
and white.
Well,
It's
what about free will? Do you believe in free will?
that doesn't change the fact that there's
Do
going
you
to be
believe in free
evil.
will?
Some people never
hold
believed
on,
in that
both
or
of you,
understood the
just a
principle.
moment.
Doesn't matter. I'm asking, do you believe in free will?
Scott,
Hell,
hold on just a moment. Drew, here, what we are witnessing, Drew, in your behavior. I'm sharing this in a loving fashion so you might consider this and so others might learn. Okay. Your preconceived opinion that because he judges.
what is that? What is that? Are you a Pollock? Is that a sharp
Scott,
instrument?
Scott,
No, fuck. If
Scott,
you just showed a knife, you better know
ignore.
what
You're
happened.
distracted with that, Scott.
We can
Tell down, Scott.
ignore. I don't think I did that, but hey,
That was dark Talcott rising right there.
No, actually, Drew, I'm going to take it off you, but please listen, because what we do is when we form an opinion about the messenger, there's reasons not to accept what they say. There's reasons to put them, low credibility. That tells our mind to filter that. And often our mind will drift to something funny, to some other thought, to some disagreement, and we won't pay attention to what is being said. Now, the truth will come from all messengers. All signs, all moments can reveal the truth. And it's up to us to find it. Please don't allow your opinions of me or Scott to keep you from hearing what you heard today.
Well, we're not going to get anywhere if we're going to sit here and say, well, good and evil just sort of exists independently.
Okay, so here
throughout eternity, like this is just what it is.
So you've created a condition where we cannot go on. So where is the scenario where we can? What is
the conversation away from whatever it is you guys are talking about?
What is our disagreement?
The good and evil thing.
Is there a disagreement? Because the way you described, I mean, I'm not a disagreeable.
Well, how do you figure out good and evil? What's your authority on what good and evil actually is?
That is a very good question.
God.
How do
and
you
the
know
revelation
God?
from scriptures.
Oh, okay, but what if the book
Jesus
isn't
Christ.
handy?
How do
Okay,
you
but
know good and evil, Dick? Dick, how do you know good and evil?
actually,
The internal conscience that sears me, the moral compass that the Creator
So-
gave me.
So you're feeling what? Who's the creator? I thought the creator was Sky Daddy. Isn't that
who's
what
the
your polemic
creator
was
to
against
you?
me, Sky Daddy? Who
Hey,
is who
TBE,
is the creator?
can you just pause for just a moment?
Hold on, let me ask him. He's
Hey,
been talking
TBE,
so
rather
much.
than, no, actually, what I'm addressing right now is your energy and the patterns of behavior that I'm seeing emerging. I'm going to ask you to look at yourself and bring some more self-control into the conversation, please. And we can have discussions that resolve our disagreements, or we can at least get clarity rather than just this nonsense of,
No, I'm just trying to get to it. It's called an interrogation. He's making these claims. So
Yeah, from what I
want to
can
know.
tell, from my observation, the
Here
Most
we
High
go.
is beyond time. Well, so you don't want me to answer it then?
No,
You don't want a
just Paul
genuine
being here.
answer.
Sorry.
Drew.
Go ahead.
I'm listening to you. I asked you.
Okay, gotcha. I misunderstood what you were speaking about there. So, from what my perspective is, toilet bowl, it's beyond time and space. It's
How do you know
the
that?
formless.
Who told you that?
Because well,
TBE, wait, allow him to finish unless
I have
there's,
a conscious perspective, so I have
Your feelings.
a connected aspect to the Most High. I have a clear knowingness of what's good, right, and true. I don't have to
Okay,
seek
so-
outside of myself to know if what I'm
So
doing is
Joseph
correct or
Smith
not.
is right. So Buddha is right. So Muhammad is right because they felt connected to God. So everyone is right in your eyes, correct? By that standard
Well,
that you just gave me.
I'm not in a position to condemn anyone for their actions. I'll leave that up to the
Did I
Most
say
High. So
that?
I'm
Did I
not.
say
I'm not
that?
worried about other people's
See, he's not even
actions in
listening.
regard to their
He's not
salvation.
listening.
The
You're
way
not
you
getting
look
the
at it.
logic, Dick.
neither of
If
you
it's-
are listening to each other.
If it's just
Fair
how
enough.
you feel,
TBE,
if it's just your feelings, Dick, then everybody's
It
correct.
has nothing to do with feeling. It's a
I'm
knowing.
gonna,
It's
hey, I'm gonna
interconnectedness
break,
with the Most High. I walk
Yeah.
with the truth. I don't need validation outside of myself.
Dick, thank you.
So it's
I'm
not your
gonna,
feelings, though, is it, Wayne?
hey, Drew, hold on. I'm gonna
Feelings have
explain
nothing to do with
myself.
it. Yeah.
Dick, please. I put
What's up, Paul?
I put TBE in the back because of the antagonistic, argumentative energies that I'm seeing. So I'm going to
But
be
good and
doing
evil are
that.
the same. So why would that bother you?
What's that?
If good and evil are the same, why would that bother you? If everything is one, why would his style bother
Do
you
you care?
versus
Do
another?
you care about an answer?
Yeah, that's why I'm asking you.
Okay, so the answer of why I care is because I respect my time. I respect the time of those other people on the panel, and I respect what is being shared with the viewers. So this is not the panel or place for egoic nonsense, and we'll allow a little bit to show for teaching examples. Okay, but the disagreements can be resolved. And what I'm seeing TBE doing, and Drew, I'm not grouping you together because I haven't seen the patterns as clearly in you, but I've seen it amongst others. We're seeing the defensive arguments created by those who believe in religion more than God. Okay. And there's a big difference. I'm a follower of God. I believe Dick and I resonate many levels on the spirituality. So it's TBE who might want to be listening a little bit.
You believe in one God, though, or like many gods, or what?
I believe that
Yes,
only
indeed.
God exists. We perceive God we perceive God and the all that is in the moments of our life. We are insignificant.
So
Everyone
all
thinks
is
they're,
one is
Hey, and I just want
again,
to
right?
make
So
sure
God is evil then.
Jack,
Let's
that's
just be
so
fair
vague,
and
Jack.
respectful about the truth here, Toilet Bowl. I'm not the one running from the conversation. You muted me when I was on your channel. You did not
Because
allow
you
me
kept
back on.
monologuing,
You
Jake.
don't come up on my
You
channel
kept
where I would give you
monologuing
more
like you're
respect than
doing
you
right
gave
now.
me and give you all the courtesy to speak,
You're
and I wouldn't interrupt
monologuing
you,
like you're
but
doing
you
right
won't
now.
actually have that conversation. So it's all
Bro, you're
about
not
some kind of
listening.
chaos that
You
you're
just
trying to
keep
create, which is fine.
monologuing.
I
You
get
can't
that.
handle
But
a back
if
and
you
forth
ever want to have an
conversation,
honest
Jake.
conversation,
You know
let
what
me
I'm
know.
saying? He just keeps talking. He
Hey,
just
real
can't
quick,
handle a
just
back and
Jack,
forth conversation.
may I approach Drew? Why, after I just told you my grandparents were murdered, both of them were stabbed to death, would you go pointing a knife at the screen? Are you just daft?
Definitely
No,
insensitive.
he's evil.
What we're talking
You
about.
got guys like this guy Drew who thinks
Talking
it's
about
cool
God,
to
talking
do
about
shit
he's
like
the
that.
fucking he's the spirituality
Are
one
we
in this
gonna?
room.
No,
I
no,
just
no,
I have.
no.
Can I ask a question?
He's freaking no, Drew.
Yeah,
You
well, he
can't
pulled a gun on
because
my
you need to
I
son the
want
listen.
other
nothing
day.
to hear. I left because you're
I'm
a
a
piece of
victim.
shit.
Hey, you know
God,
what? I think I'm just gonna
allow
leave
him to
because I
answer.
want to talk to Talcott.
Yeah, you
I
better
don't wanna
run,
deal with
Paul.
this. Yeah, I'm not running, sir. You tried again yesterday to get my stream taken down by pulling guns on it again yesterday. So
He pulled a knife on
you're
your
you're a
screen.
filthy, backbiting,
What a
underhanded
piece of
miscreant,
shit.
and you're not a man of God. That's clear. Your heart is troubled.
Very, very. That's a guy who's going to end up on the evening news.
No,
For
he's
real.
fucking trash.
Well,
He's really
here,
trash.
hold on, please. I don't want anyone throwing negativity and
He
insults.
did
We
all of
can,
that.
This is a
I recognize, but we can rise above. We can be the ones who have the
And
self
That's
control.
why it took 5 minutes. I
I-
took 5 minutes.
And Scott, thank you.
Bro,
You know
the
what,
point
brother?
is that I agree with you, Jack, most times. But if he's gonna be on here showing knives and guns every fucking day, 3-4 days in a row, trying to fuck
Paul,
with people's stream, fuck him. Let him sit
it's
in his
not
hole
your
with all his
place,
toilet
Paul.
slaves.
Paul, please.
It seems like you guys can't handle interrogation at all. You can't handle being questioned. It's just
Is that right?
constant monologuing and
Is it? Okay. Go ahead
May I
and continue
reply
your
real
beliefs
quick, Jack?
elsewhere.
May
Wait,
I ask-
actually,
Okay.
I'm sorry. Keep your thoughts, Scott. I want to
will. I
address
got it.
what
I will.
happened with you.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing your story. I'm sorry you went through that and that you're still, you know what? You have
Dealing
my
with it.
support and my encouragement as it's available, as you think it's helpful. Okay.
I appreciate that.
You were saying something though.
I was going to say, he just said, Paulie said it's your show. You said it's your show when he said he's coming up with guns on his show and knives on yours. He came up and he tried to derail anything that was proper that you were saying. And then the other thought I have about this is it is your show. But last night, I wish you wouldn't have left early. You had a couple guys waiting for you and whatnot, but you had a cast of 50 or 60 people in your own little show. So I would suggest maybe plan better time around that and let your shows and not cross next time. Even if it's your show, we're all here for you.
Fair enough. So what do we do from here tonight? I still have Drew making faces in the back and
He's probably going to
TBE
pull
and
his monkey out and
location.
start squeezing it before you know.
They're little angry children, Jack. They do
Well,
the same thing all day, every day on all of our
Paul,
channels.
there's many like that though. And
How
there's
can we help
many
you?
who
How can we
have the
help you, Drew?
tendency. I have compassion and hope for all. I really do.
Fix Drew, you fix the
These
master.
guys, hey, admittedly, TBE, I think it's TBE. As far as the video editing and stuff, he's got some skills, man. He does some pretty funny stuff. And Drew, I love his energy and his humor, but
I agree with both of those things. That still has no bearing on their character. A lot of these people have talents and abilities. A lot of these people I would work with and could work with, but you see what winds up overshadowing the hate in their heart.
Paul, you walked right into my trap yesterday. What was
How'd the
that, bro?
trap
I expected
work,
better
bro?
of you.
How'd the
I
trap work?
expected better of you, bro.
First of all, it wasn't going to get me banned. Second of all, I took 5 minutes afterward and edited it out, and there you go.
So I danced you around like a marionette, just like I said. I knew you'd walk into the trap because you're an animal.
Why is it it's so
I'm not going
important?
to let your community just memory hole how
Why
bad you
is
got
it
wrecked
so
yesterday.
important? Why is it so important for you to get me or anyone around me to do anything you want? You're so clutching for power over me. It's pathetic.
Well,
It's just to prove to you that you're a slave to your animal instinct. You can't
That's
control
fine,
yourself.
sir. So great job. You proved it. You pulled guns.
I know.
You pulled guns out of your animal
You
instinct.
pulled guns.
No, you
Hey-
pulled guns
hey,
on this
guys.
team out of your animal instinct for Croco because your feelers got hurt. I
Hey,
just
guys.
showed you what I had. I didn't do
You
it
guys
out of
have-
triggering.
All making fun of
So
dead
when you
people,
do it, it's nothing. But when I do it, how dare I?
You know what,
I was backstage with you, dummy.
Paul? With all due respect, I'm about to end this. Your guys' participation.
This is your best content in weeks, Jack. Come on.
Yep. So this is not the content that I'm trying to emulate. The panel idea, yeah, that was inspired by Paul and Drew and several others, but this chaos, no, that's not why I'm here. And what I've seen, God bless you guys, I'm saying this with love, but Paul, TBE, Drew, many of you, I'm seeing you act like a bunch of grown children, making excuses for your behavior, calling it entertainment.
Yeah, well, sometimes that is the case, Jack. And the difference is I could pretty much, you can call it ego or not, I could do whatever the fuck I want to do on this metaverse. I'm signed,
Sure.
sealed, delivered in the streets. So
Sure.
these folks are
Don't
on
But when
this.
you do it, Paul, it's
time,
entertainment. But when we do it, it's girls just want to have fun.
Don't waste
But you don't
my
get it. You're a
time.
bitch in your life. So when you come on here and just want to have fun, you're a hoe. I'm not that.
Don't
keep backstage
waste
is real.
my
You're not just
time.
monologuing fucking.
They're hate-
Don't waste my time. Okay? It's my unconfirmed, you know, you can call it narcissist, egoic, whatever the hell you want. I believe God is using me as a messenger. You can think what you want about me, but I know the truth that I am offering. I know the love that I feel and am offering is genuine. I know my practice of gratitude. It's something I was evaluating earlier today. How much gratitude I actually have just for being. Can you guys say that, Drew?
You're my bitch, Paul. You will always be my bitch.
God damn it.
That's all he's
Ah.
doing.
What an
Trying to have
asshole.
ego competitions with me to feel some kind of way. It's really pathetic.
Paul, you know this, but try and consider it deep within you and consider what it means, Paul.
I know what it means,
You
Jack.
and
Over
I-
and over and over again.
You and I are very clear examples where egos, you trigger them intentionally. People throw their egos at me. Not in a fun way either, dude.
I didn't intentionally trigger all of these people's egos individually. I pimped and macked on a broad spectrum of society, knowing they're all chimpanzees, and they came forth individually to verify that. So
Yeah.
I didn't address any of these people individually. They addressed me individually because what I say broadly feels something to them individually, making it true, right? It's a verification.
Here's part of the paradox, though, Paul. The people that have been brought into your life, those are for you, and my advice here, I am grateful for each and every one of you, even those who don't like me. I love you. I have no resentments or fears about anyone or any of you. So, Paul, everyone that's in your life, particularly those that you allow into your time every day, that's your life. I believe your bitterness and some of your steam is coming from, well, the people that you surround yourself with.
No, you're wrong again, Jack. Every time I start a broadcast every day, I'm in a great mood. I'm jovial. We engage in jocularity. Okay, it's a great time. And then what starts getting my frustrations up are what you see here. I don't get to choose when I open the portal how many demons flow through with the hate in their heart that they only
Well,
have to express. Right.
you
So
do
again,
get
I just do what I do. I sit with my group.
You
We
can't
go
hate 'em.
wherever we go with it. And then these people have to take it somewhere else every single day. So then it starts to
Well-
get that frustration going because they go, "Yous are all a bunch of slaves. You ain't going nowhere, and you have the nerve to come here and fuck with me." It's laughable.
Paul,
It's pathetic
but
and embarrassing.
this is the thing. If you stopped seeing the world as though you were surrounded by slaves,
I am though.
well, stop focusing on that.
Stop focusing on the
description,
truth.
that
Okay.
Use
narrative.
a different word.
You can
Right.
also
Ignore the one thing
recognize.
that'll get me. Yeah. I ignore the tiger.
Paul,
The tiger you ignore is the one that'll kill you. That makes
you
sense.
can recognize that we are surrounded by brothers and sisters. Maybe we don't all know each other. Maybe we don't all get along with each other, but we are all together.
Right. We're all together, but we're not equally yoked because character's a motherfucker.
Well, this not equally yoked, once again, everything is perspective. And actually, hey, thank you. Relationships was actually one of the topics I did want to get to. Relationships are our purpose. So I believe. We're not here to collect things or whatever. We are here to build relationships. And the first relationship is within, with the divine spirit that is found within us and all others. And that's what Aaron was getting to with his God's law, the original law, I believe, or whatever term he used. It's God is in all. God is in all things. So who are you with the arrogance of a man to judge something as wrong?
It's discernment, sir. I don't know what makes you think that arrogant. You do it all day, every day, and it's not arrogant when you do it.
Okay, so do you want to argue or understand?
Okay, so you just want to make me comply. Okay, go ahead. Help
Do
me
you
understand.
want to argue or understand? I don't
Argue
want
means
your
to make the
obedience.
facts clear and presently
I
known.
don't
We
want
care
you to
about the
comply. Paul, I want you to care.
What makes you think
Oh,
I
he
don't?
sees
I
it
wouldn't be
differently,
on here more than you all day, every day if I didn't care.
want you to
I
care
3 to
about the
10x more than
topic
you.
being
I've shown
discussed.
that.
Paul, please forgive me. I meant in the context of I want you to care about this topic that I'm discussing right now.
Relationships.
Right. So every relationship starts with the one you have with yourself. If you hate yourself, what makes you think you can equally yoke to me when you can't see truth in yourself and in reality? And
Paul,
you can't
I
worship
can
the life and the
see-
creation.
Paul, you're not honest about how much you care about yourself.
Okay.
Or you're something. You're not honest about something because you
So something. Okay,
contradict.
so we went from one thing to something. Maybe this is just you that you're
Well, do you
projecting.
care to know? I mean, you're
How
able
could
to
I know
help.
what you don't know? You just said this thing may be something.
Okay, well, Paul,
So
you
we're going
do
on intuition here or what?
here. Actually, let me explain the evidence I see, and maybe you figure out what it is.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I know that hurt people hurt people. Now, you're not physically hurting people, but emotionally, psychologically, you are presenting all of this negative thoughts and beliefs from you into people's heads. That's not healthy for you or anyone else.
Right. Well, what I think I'm doing is I'm observing and reporting, and then everybody else is choosing thoughts and emotions. That's their responsibility and accountability, not mine.
Paul, you said it. You are observing and reporting, but you choose what you are observing. You can seek only the negative, or you can seek beyond to see the totality. This brings us into that good
what
and
makes
evil
you think that I have
discussion.
to do one or the other and can't do both whenever I choose?
See the totality in what is, and if you can find the good Okay, let me be more specific. This is how I've taught myself to flow. I see the totality of the moment. I am one with those near and those afar, those distant. I am one with this moment of time.
Okay.
So I can feel anxious about it. I can be angry about it. I can be, and that includes for anything. I can be angry at what's right in front of me. I can be angry at something that's thousands of miles away.
What makes you think that I'm angry,
Paul,
Jack?
really? The negativity?
Okay. Could you characterize exactly like this is? It's like okay. Imagine a godly being or the God, as they say, and it goes observing and reporting everything that it sees from the human and human condition, and you go, whoa, God person with pure consciousness and awareness. What's with all the negativity? And it's like, well, this is cause and effect, thoughts, emotions, and actions. What you think, feel, and how you act creates your reality. So when I go into a space of pure observation and then reporting what I see as I see it from a combative, truthful space, is what you're feeling. Absolute truth is combative.
Here,
Make no
Paul,
mistake about it. It will put everybody in a twist.
Well, it's actually, I disagree. Combative at the moment, truth is supreme. Truth is supreme in every moment. There's no battle. It's
With
only
beta
us.
males, let's be clear. We're doing this thing lately.
Yeah, that's right.
Alpha betas. With beta males, absolute truth is triggering and combative, destroys their identity and reality. With alpha males or folks who want to embody what that idea is, you know, like DD214, like Dick. There's a few other examples. They just sit and listen. They ask questions. They respond. They observe and report. They don't get in a whole ego twist. They don't typically start wanting to mount campaigns and control everybody. And these are people even who probably have a history of being controlling, domineering, order followers.
Right. Hey, Paul.
So
yes.
where's the disconnect here where I don't have really the same like perception and or interaction with some folks who oddly enough I characterize as one type of man. And then the rest of the folks, I have a patented interaction every time. It's like it's uncanny. It's the same process.
No, it's not as uncanny as you think. You are in denial about many facts. I've been trying to communicate this to you for over 6 months, dude.
I know, and you haven't listened to anything that I've said or what I've shown or who I am, and you won't understand.
There you go, projecting again.
Yeah, but I didn't ask you to tell me who and what I am.
All right, I've entertained you and your monologues enough, Paul. You can't show me respect again. And here, Drew wanted to see the angry Jack, and that's what Paul seems to want. Everyone wants to see the demon, the darkness. Why? Because then they can blame. That's what manipulators do. That's what Mr. Paul Unslaved does. You know what? I'm going to start, maybe I will do some work and start doing some restreaming for those who are interested in learning what is true. The psychological study of the gaslighting and manipulating that's just blatantly obvious. Thank you, Scott.
It was his idea. It was, I mean, his somewhere over there. Steve.
Thank you.
It's just you're at peace right now, okay? All right. All the darkness that you feel afoot. And Paul, I think Paul has a genuine heart, but just look, his dad and him are going through a lot of stuff. I mean, I think Paul's trying to get his footing. He's doing a pretty good job. He's found it direction. Go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. Every day we waste our time and the time of those who are paying attention. Every time we just broadcast this drama, we're reconfirming that it's acceptable behavior, when in my mind, this is not acceptable. Okay? We're grown men and women. We should be able to have meaningful discussions without these, praise God. Praise God.
Jack, it's hard to have a meaningful discussion when you have a person with the temperament that Drew has to want to cause, hatred, really. And it's evil, because he really got off by showing pictures of you, showing pictures of Scott. Scott told a story about, the sad story of his grandparents being murdered and stabbed to death. He felt it was cute to, break out a knife and, hey, everybody, check me out. And, that's pure evil right there, because he enjoys it. You can be an asshole. Everyone, I'm an asshole. Everyone's an asshole. But actually enjoying it, that's pretty fucked up, man. Clearly that dude has got props. And he's a father. He's bragging about his children. Guess what? I got children. I'd be embarrassed as hell if my kids saw me like that.
And then claim to be a Christed being on top of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you. No,
Don't,
you.
Well, hey,
don't stress out over that.
Agreed, but let's not take.
But so Paul is genuine, at least. You may not like his temperament. That's the sense I get. And those guys are not genuine. They don't actually want to bring anything to the table that would be a fair and honest conversation. And that's what's so
well said, brother.
disgusting about
I don't think that's a fair representation.
I asked a fair question, though, Jack. I said, where does good and evil come from? Where do you make those decisions from? And the reason I asked it is because I genuinely would like to know, are they saying that the book is more of an authority than their conscience? Is the pastor more of an authority than their conscience? If something runs cross-grain to what's in them and the book tells them it's right, but they know in their heart it's wrong, or the pastor tells them something they know is wrong, but says it's right, who do you listen to? Your heart, your conscience, or the book of the pastor? What supersedes your decision making? What's the more important authority out of those components?
So
or
Steve's
are they
up here calling
co-equals?
me
How do you
evil.
look at it?
Steve's calling me evil. My point is, if good and evil is the same thing, what does it matter?
I
That's
didn't
an
say that,
irrelevant.
so I can't answer that.
No, it's not. It's the basis of your philosophy.
That's
that good
not
and evil are the same thing. Everything is one. So you say God calls on you to do this work, but then why would it be separate from evil?
Hey, Drew, your conclusion is it doesn't make sense. But here,
maybe you didn't explain it right.
If you're willing to accept explanations, good and evil are part of the experience. The experience is the all that is. The all that is God. We are participants and part of the all that is. There's no separation between us and God.
Okay, so let me ask again. If I'm evil, according to Steve, what does that matter? Because good and evil and everything is one.
Because
what does it matter? What does it matter? What do you
society, we're trying to root out evil people that would rather cut off people's heads than let them live and let live. There's just you're the kind of person that just seems to want to rock the boat. Why?
I just don't.
Were you rocking the boat, or was there actual true intentions behind that?
Showing public record online pictures is evil, according to Steve. Is that correct?
No, fuckface.
So you're just here to argue.
You know what you did.
You were asked about your intentions, your questions.
Yeah. Can you
do you care to resolve the questions, or do you want to just?
Well, I've asked several questions and you guys haven't answered me. I'm saying if I'm evil,
there's been answers and you ignore the answers to continue the patterns of argument. So, Drew, you'll be welcome back again at another day. Paul, you as well. You guys can continue with your day, please, with all due respect. I've had enough of the agents of chaos.
Yeah, if I could just say for the record, though, Jack, I'm not judging anybody or anything as evil here. I'm not doing that. So I just want to make sure that's clear. I don't think that Toilet Bowl is evil. I don't think that Drew is evil inherently. I understand at a certain level we've all got a fallen state to us. We've all been perverted by this system at some level, but we're all trying to seek truth, I hope, genuinely, and that it's honest. But if not, that's between you and God.
Exactly.
Jack, are you implying that God created evil?
He did.
Yes.
Do you believe
did.
there's things
Created
God did
evil.
not create?
Well, God created man. God created the
He
world.
created everything.
Man in his free will did not obey God, and God is the ultimate good, and therefore evil comes into the world.
Is that
Do you
true?
think-
Our actions,
Wait.
it's called personal responsibility. Okay.
Do you think you obey? Do you think you obey the ultimate good by casting such harsh judgment and
Who am I judging?
accusations at others?
Who am I judging, Jack?
Well, I've witnessed your comments and criticisms of Brother Paul Unslaved. He's a man I care about and respect, and I thought you were quite offensive and disrespectful for a man who especially claims to be a follower of Christ.
Well,
Blasphemy,
you need to separate
liar.
what's happening here, Jack, is you're conflating me hating Paul with me criticizing his worldview. Okay, you need to separate those two things because you're conflating them to be the same. I don't hate Paul. I'm attacking what he believes, and I'm questioning it, and that shouldn't be held. That you shouldn't think that I hate this person because he's disagreeing with him. See, that's a very that's an emotionalist way to view things. Okay,
Yep.
because when I hear Paul's talk about Christ and being, that's something that is not biblical at all. This is the problem with what I'm hearing when he goes on these diatribes of Christ and being. Well, where did you hear that from? Oh, you heard it from the Bible. Okay, so he takes the Bible and he rapes it for what he wants, that supports his own agenda, his ego, as he likes to say. I hate using these terms in these circles about ego and whatnot. Okay, he uses these terms, and I'm attacking that. I'm saying, okay, this isn't consistent. This, I can easily rebuke this. He never wants to listen to those arguments. Okay,
Hey,
you can't just take
hold
what
on.
you
TBE.
want. You can't
Okay,
take
let's
what
not-
you want and
Right.
make a subjective worldview. Then anybody can
Yep.
do that, and then
Hey,
therefore
TBE, take a
anybody is
break.
right. It's the same
Take-
thing that Dick
Take a
does.
break. Take a break.
Well, that's where
Okay.
I'm confused, though, is
Hold
you
on,
talk
Dick.
about, because can I
Dick,
just ask a
For the love
question?
of God.
Yeah, I got
am
one
I-
question.
Right.
I've been patient. I mean, he says a lot of stuff. I just wanted to ask one thing.
Well, that's
Please
what I
go
wanted to. That's what I wanted to address. Tell you what, Dick, go ahead. This is Dick's
I really
show.
appreciate
Please.
it. Well, I really appreciate it, Jack. I don't do that often, and I'm just really curious. It's driving me nuts. When you consider free will, because Drew was asking, do you have free will? Do you guys believe that you have free will? So if the book is the authority, or the church, the building as you were talking about, or the pastor, then is it just that you give your free will to them as your authority to tell you what truth is? Or at some level, how much percentage of your own conscience, your own discernment, your own gut instinct, and your own knowingness comes into play when you judge this stuff and you determine what's true and what is edifying and what you should build your life on?
So let's be clear about when you're saying the book and the pastor. Okay, so there's the church that produces the book under the guidance of the Holy Spirit, and we go to the church and our elders. This is a term in the Bible. We go to them for guidance on matters that we are confused about. If we cannot figure that out on our own, we go to guidance with them, excuse me. So
Does it supersede your free will? I mean, if they
what do
say
you mean?
something that goes
Supersede
against
my
what
free will?
you and your
No,
yeah, like
it's
if
all
in your heart,
tandem, Dick. It's in
if
tandem.
in your heart and your conscience, it was telling you to do one thing, but the pastor said do another, and he showed you in the Word and said, no, you've got this wrong. What would be your authority? Your free will and the conscience that guides you, or would it
You mean
be
a priest?
ultimately?
Why do you keep saying pastor?
father,
tell you what, can I get in
priest,
on this
pastor, whatever you want to
conversation at
call the
some
authority,
point?
take that out, then just make it the book. You know, which one's the authority? I'm just trying to figure out who's your leader. Where do you get your final say at with regards to these things? Because you said it's God, and I tried to explain God, but you interrupted again, and you gave me some bullshit like I just run a monologue when I was really trying to genuinely answer your question. Now I'm trying to get to where do you actually define your decision making of good and bad? Because I think it's an important discussion. So if you want to continue to have it, you know, I'd love to get a better grasp of where the free will ends.
I'd
You know,
love to
where
entertain
it begins
too.
and where it ends.
Jack is trying to speak. Jack, let's, because it is his room, but you have an open panel with a lot of opinions, so you got to say your piece and then kind of let it go, because he's addressed toilet bowl earth here. So
Hey, Scott, are you the moderator here?
No, I just
You're
want
doing a great job.
I want to
No, it's just
stay off the stay
fantastic.
from going off the rails. I don't want to see it go off the rails.
Thank you, Scott. Hey, TBE, I'm resonating with the questions Dick is asking. And I personally, that was kind of where I was going to go with what I wanted to address with you anyway. Your criticisms of Paul to represent as the Christed spirit, and then to show what the negativity and stuff that's been showing. I agree with you there. I don't know what you've seen and not seen. I pointed out that I view Paul and this Andy Taint and all these other characters as false lights. Okay. Now, TBE, though, the way you're coming at it, you are showing yourself that the Christ has left you, man. That's what I saw in Drew too.
Okay, well, that's your opinion, Jack. Okay.
Well, what do the facts
I'm here to
show?
defend the faith. Okay, I'm here to defend people preaching false things to people, leading them astray. I'm here to defend our holy scripture from people pillaging it, and using it for their own agenda. Sorry if you find my aggressive tone and my aggressive ways to reach people offensive.
Hey, TBE, here's something you're not considering. The way you treat others matters, regardless of your opinion on what you think they think, regardless of your opinions on what you think someone else does. How you treat others matters. Do you disagree with that?
No, I don't disagree with that, but I think, you know.
Okay, so if you can agree that how you treat people matters, then please recognize this is Jack's opinion, please recognize the clear pattern that is associated with many so-called Christians. Want to walk around this realm and judge everyone else like they have the knowing of God, and then they want to disrespect their fellow brothers and sisters? TBE?
Well, you know, if I see someone smoking spiritual crack, is it loving of me to let them continue to do it?
Well,
if I see someone damaging their soul, because
TBE?
for the sake of diplomacy, I have to be a passive milquetoast Christian for you to digest me better.
Nope. Hey, TBE, and please recognize that I am doing that with you right now. As a fellow brother in Christ, I believe your behavior, your words, and your temper tantrums. Let me check that. Your words and your behavior online towards another human being have not been appropriate, and I believe you are a better man than that.
Okay, duly noted, Jack. Thank you for that.
I believe a lot of us are better than we've been showing.
I just want to throw this out there. I just want to throw this out there. I agree. I've not been the best person, but Jack, you got to listen and watch some of the things Paul does behind your back on his stream. He makes you the topic of his stream sometime. He goes out of his way to belittle you. Put your picture up, put funny memes over your face. It's like, is Jack your friend or not? So I just don't understand you defending him, but I'm not saying it's right for any, everybody, we should all be getting along. We should all understand, like I've said 100 times before, that the government's fucking us. And if we don't band together, which we're not banding together, we're not getting anywhere. And we're not getting anywhere, if anybody can tell. So
Smith, I agree.
There's no
I'm not-
Alpha. He kind of reminds me of
Hey.
Alf with the orange hair.
Hey, Smith, much love, and I'm not blind to what happens. I do not spend a lot of my personal time and energy anymore going to see the backbiting and the insults and all them, because there's many people that, you know what? Praise God. I've been saying this as clearly as I can. I believe God is using all of us, using me in my path, where particularly people like to show the blemishes in their character. They like to offer disrespect to me when I'm just trying to be kind and helpful, but
Nothing
Paul
but love
will
for you,
learn.
Jack. Nothing
You
but
know
love
what,
for you.
guys?
I just want to say
No.
that was interesting. I know they were keeping you out of the conversation. That was interesting when they were kind of debating about, their different views. If they can do it in a respectful way, I think it's amazing. I'm going to leave you guys, but I want to leave you with this. I believe in God, but does anybody know what 2/3 as a percentage is? And I'm not trying to be all numbers. Anybody know?
66.
Nobody wants to answer? Okay. It's 66.6. So 1/3 of the angels, 1/3 of them fell from heaven. How many did that leave in heaven? For it's the number of a man, the Son of Man. He created evil. Does that make sense? 66.6% were left in heaven. And 666 is the number of a man. Where do I come up with this stuff? I don't know.
It's fascinating.
Jack, I think
Anybody?
that, it's healthy
That is
that people
fascinating.
debate these things instead of having a kumbaya. You get places faster that way.
Okay.
You
Agreed.
can't,
But
you can't just sit here and go, hey, everybody, let's just share like this is some
all right. Hey,
great
TBE.
support group.
TBE, great. Here's what I suggest. Whether, I believe there are people who are starting to see the value in what I'm offering, the energies and the encouragement. I think there are people who are seeing that because I've had people reaching out to me and offering me those words. So TBE, I agree completely with you. The way this stream started was about kindness. Kindness is the light that dissolves all walls between souls, families, and nations. So kindness was the topic. What can we do to bring more kindness into our lives and the world?
I don't know, man.
I mean, Christians should have easy, there should be answers right off the top of their head for those who follow the Christ, right? Right, TBE?
The first thing you should do is
Okay,
start
Jack,
learning.
what are you trying to drive at? You want me to give you examples?
I was being a little arrogant
You're being a little
because of
facetious.
what I've
I
seen.
thought you were being rhetorical and facetious, but if you really want some
Maybe
answers-
that's accurate. Yeah. Scott, you were saying something?
I think if the whole point is trying to come together, and come together use respect, and respect is not talking over one another, not trying to belittle each other, ad hominem attacks left and right. It just seems like things are better served. I guess your relationships and is your topic. I mean, with the relationship to God and this whole subject matter. I had a thought earlier that I just want to share now, even though this is past the point that it would have been a little more relevant. What was the first thing that Adam lost? This is a very puzzling question. I'm known to do that.
Besides the rib?
Oh, yeah, besides the rib.
He lost communion with God.
Okay. No.
Rib.
Yeah.
He lost a rib.
God's always been there with him. Been there for him. It's not that never changed.
Where did you hear that?
Where are you taking us?
The Bible. What's the first thing he lost? The kingdom. He lost his kingdom.
Did I not just say that?
His communion with God, I think. But
Yeah,
the
that
kingdom of
involved
God.
his kingdom.
Okay. I didn't
He lost
take
the
it that
rib
way,
first.
but
Okay.
He lost the rib first, though.
All right. Where was this going?
That we're kind of losing focus on
Well-
where we could go in the future with what you're trying to do. Back to the whole, darkness and light thing, bringing the light out in any darkness. So I mean, you see Drew, you see Paul, and there's plenty of darkness that it could be surrounded by light because there's light there too. And I think that's what you're trying to represent. And if Paul understood that, Paul, he thinks you're a bright guy and he wants to follow you. He would just jump on your coattails if he could, but you don't see his honorability and you don't have the respect for him that he desires. And I know that you say, well, you earn respect, you don't demand it, you command respect. You can't just say, I want it and follow me. So there's a conflict that goes, it's the dichotomy of your relationship needs special therapy.
I'm just kind of confused why everyone keeps using buzzwords, emotional words like negativity, and then go read the Tao and it says the Tao is dark and deep, but also radiant. Why? Because we let it be. So do you want to go tell the Tao not to be dark and have depth and be confusing and confounding and questioning, right? To satisfy your sensibilities? Because again, deep, dark, confounding, questioning, threat to authorities, triggering to egos, but also full of light because we let it be, right? Yeah. So it's about what you let it be.
Right. How to overcome that darkness in yourself first. And that's what Drew's missing. And wholeheartedly, that's what I think. You see a calm guy in Paul, you can kick the shit out of Paul here. He'll sit there and take it. Toilet Bowl Earth and Drew, I saw them with the fucking bullshit, the names they call. It's such a pathetic fucking move.
Hey, many people are at that point right now. And
but they can rise above it too.
Let's move on.
We can help each other.
Reporting and actually talk about something that's worth it.
What was your comment?
Can we move on from the psychological reporting and actually talk?
Well, what do you suggest? I'm open. Yeah, I mean, I brought up the topic of what can we do to bring more kindness to the world.
He's being mean. I think that he's this, that, X, Y, and Z.
So what is your point? Do you have anything of value to offer, or are you just here to pepper insults and criticisms? I mean, I know you're a Christian. You think you're perfect.
Did I say that, Jack?
You sure act as it.
Oh, okay.
I don't see. I'm not. Well, you know what? Let me not proceed too much. I have seen some humility from you, but golly geez, man. Humility is what is lacking in this world. Humility for truth, humility and respect for the time and for each other. How can we claim to love God and hate the people that would come into our lives? Makes no sense to me.
Okay. No, I don't hate anybody. I'm challenging what they believe. I'm asking them questions about what they believe. You perceive that as hate, and that's that's your own.
I encourage you to look closer. Perception. Well, look at what you've done and then imagine the results, or look at the results you've achieved, and then is that what you did, or is this an excuse for you to allow your own negativity to be released?
Again, you keep saying negative and this, that, and the other. You just can't seem to understand.
You don't know the difference?
You can't seem to like piece together that when you're having a debate about a contentious topic, that you're going to perceive that as an attack on the person rather than the subject matter. And that it's not the same, Jack.
The name calling, right? The ad hominem.
You want the kumbaya.
No, don't falsely represent what is true. TBE, brother.
The kumbaya gets no.
You're wrong. You reject peace. And by rejecting peace, you stay in denial from the truth, TBE. There's much we could all learn from each other if we get past the ad hominems and the whatever. But how do we do that? How do we convince people that it's time to change?
It starts with yourself, Jack. It's
I
about
have.
being good.
I
No,
have
I'm not saying you're
changed
not.
myself.
It's a general and saying is being good. If you're being good, then that's doing good for other people because they see you being good. They don't see you being hateful or evil like Drew. That guy is just trolling. You know, you're here to at least spread a word of love and fellowship, right? So having people like that on here is just it's silly. You know what I mean? You expect him to do good, but no, he's the opposite because that's he gets off on that. So in general, everybody, being good, doing good, like that's where it should start, no matter what you believe. I mean, what how could you not be on board with that?
Yeah, they don't have that principle, purpose, and meaning in their life. This is what I keep pointing to. And that's the main area. They don't have a core process and knowing system of who and what they are. So they keep clutching for power in all these areas. And it's like every time you go to clutch for power in all these areas, you lose it because it comes from within. They don't have it. And then when you point them to that, they think you're trying to demean them. You know, everyone does this game. They're like, you're trying to demean me and diminish my power. No, I'm trying to empower you by showing you where you don't get your power every place you go losing it, right? Looking for it and losing it in the same place. Okay, so they think they got to come on a metaverse and constantly be miscreants and trigger happy and trolling. There's a time for that. I did it with Jack yesterday. We're in the middle of a great conversation, and I go, here we go. Let's be a little bit confounding. Let's ruffle feathers. Let's trigger egos. Let's see where it goes. It's a fun game. So I do the video. Whatever. We'll all get through it. We can find a place to be better for it. We can find a place to let it go because I'm not trying to harm him. It's already out there. We've already experienced it. So what's the problem, right? When we get right past all the feelings.
There is a problem with some of this entertainment at the expense of others.
Jack, if you can't find a place in this spiritual development arena to laugh at life in general and the creation, you're going to fuck yourself.
Right. But instead of laughing at your life, you wanted to put me on display and use me as a joke.
Call me heroin hamster every day, bro.
Right. I'm talking about what you did to me, not what others did to you.
Right. But I found a place to go beyond losing my power
and
my inner space over to events, people, places, and things.
Okay, so back to what you did to me. Do you think?
Right, but that's the thing. Okay, let's go back to the sayings of the Buddha.
Jack, he's making you famous.
Let's go back. No, forget that. Let's go back to the sayings of the Buddha, thousands of years, again, like the Tao, before the Christ of being, whatever it is, the timeline. Go look it up. Let's get it once and for all. Okay, look at how he beat me, threw me down. If you live with such thoughts, you will live in hate, you will suffer. Look at how he beat me. Look at how he threw me down. If I abandon such thoughts, I live in love. Don't tell me love keeps no records with Aaron and then tell me about you study all these texts and embody the information when the least little thing goes on with words, something you said that I play, and you're going to get right into your feelers and triggers and not understand that's
right into my feelers and triggers. That's what happened. How about we paint this in more realistic
You're doing
terms?
it now, Jack.
How about we paint this in more realistic terms? The same information. You're right. There's months and months of our interactions together. You don't post a lot of videos, do you, Paul? But you chose that video for me to post. Do you think that was helpful for me?
It's whatever you let it be. I'm telling you, you're getting triggered in
that's
your
not
feelings
what I
right
asked.
now.
Not what I asked. What do you think?
I think that the reason that I did it
you.
was because one of the things that I've perceived about you, sorry if I'm egoic and arrogant, that I think I can perceive what some folks need sometimes, and I will push that button, right? If you think that it's meant for me to harm you by posting a video of something that was already out there,
Paul? No, you're
it was an entertainment piece. We could get joy out of it, and it's going to trigger you. If you could learn to not be triggered by these.
Are you going to listen?
Are you going to go to somebody who has done this work on themselves and
Are
then
you
tell
going
them,
to
hey,
listen?
I want to tell you all about.
Paul, you still have much work to do on yourself. It's quite evident by your insecure patterns. And your insecure pattern is this talking over, insisting you dominate the conversation and the topic to make sure you're a fucking master at gaslighting and manipulating. But guess what, brother? You've met your match. I don't fall for that shit. The ego, Paul, your ego opinions are keeping you a slave. I'm offering you the path to freedom. It's through the practices of a meditative mind, which I was addressing yesterday. It's through the practice of intentional actions and intentional energies of kindness. When you present yourself as a more kind, more honest, more peace-filled being, then you might be able to claim the Christed way, Paul. But until then, my time is better spent without you. And Wizard, I see you in the back. Enjoy the rest of your day. Wizard, you're not welcome here. Not until I receive some sort of acknowledgement of the inappropriateness of your behavior. You've offered me far too much anger and disrespect for me just to continue forgiving without any efforts from you. And Paul, I'm kind of at that point with you too. Brothers, thank you for allowing me to get that out. Thoughts?
Jack, you say it every night, brother. Come on, man. And then you're back on Paul's channel again tomorrow.
Feel free to leave. I actually, no, I didn't visit Paul's channel today, so that's a false assumption, false representation. I don't think I did anyway. Maybe I did. I really don't. You're misrepresenting the facts, Max. Any other thoughts? I mean, and actually, I find it irrelevant. You want to sit here and interrupt the conversation, where we can move on.
Jack, your story tonight is about relationships and what else? Relationships and
High five.
Oh, the energies of emotion, how understanding each other helps us connect.
okay. And this is a relationship sort of scenario that we're going through with these guys getting thrown in the back and whatnot. And it's I mean, even Max isn't trying to say something bad. I think you took that as an affrontment, him getting in your face, but I don't think Max intended to get in your face. He's trying to, and if you think that we're protecting Paul's a fucking baboon. We all know that. He's a fucking gorilla. There's no protecting him. He protects himself. So nobody's sticking up for him.
Well, actually, Scott, Paul, I'll allow you in just a moment. But here, for what you described with Max has offered me nothing.
Yeah.
Even as far as engagement in the conversation to help share enlightenment and encouragement, inspiration. Maybe I didn't give him a fair chance, but when he does pipe up, and today is not the first, if I remember accurately, that's the pattern of his behavior. He's one who's drifted over from the cult, from the mindset of worship Paul. Paul can do no wrong. I'm tired of hearing that bullshit. Paul, thoughts?
Paul in check a little bit if you want, but Max, I mean, compared to what Chalk Body and Toilet Bowl did, he didn't derail anything. I am a little bit, so I'll digress.
Well, I can tell you, Jack, Max is trying to express, what he sees and what he's been seeing for the past probably 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know.
Is what I saw. I'm sorry to interrupt. Unhelpful criticism is what I saw him offering. Now, am I wrong? Was there something beneficial I should receive from his words, his assumptions?
Well, let me
No,
give you a quick
there
back.
was not.
Well,
So
I gotta wrap up here because I got something else I want to get to, but I wanted to end on a positive note with you for the night, Jack.
I'd love that.
Okay, so I never got to Wes Watson. Would you like to do Wes Watson video with me?
No,
Okay.
thank you though.
Well, I'll watch it alone then, I guess.
Fair enough. Wes Watson is your thing. I reached out to him. I'm going to try and see if I can find a way to have a conversation with him, and who knows where that will lead. And actually, it's perfect because next week I'm entering into a new community for coaches. I don't know, not to promote, but a couple of YouTube guys, Victor Otto, Aaron Dotry, they're doing some coaching to help businesses in the realm of consciousness and spirituality rise. So in the coaching field, I thought, why not? I'm already moving in the direction of getting coaches for myself again. And Wes Watson, dude, he'd be an incredible coach to have. Why not?
Just give him that 10 grand he wants, and he's your coach tomorrow.
Find out what he charges and we'll discuss. I mean, I don't have a problem investing in myself, especially if it would open doors and connections to greater things. Fuck yeah.
Well,
So,
that's
not to
why
give away my ideas, but there you go.
that's why I wanted to start appealing to that community more, and I wanted to get some kind of inspiration going and some common bond, but apparently we can't do that.
Well, you know, Paul, there's so many ways we could work together. You keep yourself at such a safe distance to make sure you don't get betrayed. But, you know, the difficulties in our communication, I think they're holding us back, Paul.
Well, I just asked you, let's do a screen share and go to Wes Watson, and you can't even, experience that. So,
Yeah, it's not what I'm feeling. I mean, you're welcome to go do what you want to do, complete your stream where you do. I mean,
right?
it's Friday night. Well, actually, you know what? Here, Paul, since you won't allow private conversations, what the hell? I've been trying to find a way to work with you. Your production and timing, your talents are fucking amazing. But the thing is here's where I would love. If we can find a way to work together, you could take some of your mind off participating in the conversation or participating in the broadcasting. Help me figure out your methods, timing. Tell me what you want to do. We can work together, man, and put something pretty damn cool together.
And that's the thing is like it's part of my amazing personality. Okay, I didn't want to say it that way, but it just is, right? You can't teach somebody comedic timing and presentment and really honorability and good character. Just kind of you got to make that yourself and learn to do that and be that. I can't really teach that, right?
Well, I've got the good character. I've got the work ethic, even though your opinions may not align with.
Yeah, I'm just saying I'm not seeing that, but I'm open to it.
Well, see, this is where it would take some trust. Because
Can I make a suggestion, Jack? Can I make a suggestion? Polly, would you be willing to make Jack a better version of himself rather than another version of you?
Ooh, beautiful.
Yeah, if I thought that was possible, and that's
it might take a chisel, a hammer. It might take some fucking blow torches. You got
might take another
over there.
6 months.
It might take 3. It might take 3. He's willing to go to boot camp.
Dude, the best listen, there is no best version of Jack. There's so many things. Okay, it's like a piñata. You string them up, you hit them a little bit. So many things pop out. There's sweet things, there's sour things, there's gooey things, hard things. Okay, so I can't even begin to it's about focus like it is everywhere in life. Sometimes we focus on the spiritual like we do over at my shack, right? My holding tank. We do spiritual faith, right? Consciousness and awareness. And sometimes we do complete puerile insanity. So, you know, it's just really about enjoying the creation as a whole, like respecting the creation as a whole, honoring the creation as a whole, and then day to day in life, choosing who and what you want to be, and then coming on here and choosing what aspect of self you want to go into with the presentment. So, you know,
Well,
if you were to bring up the skid mark video right now and play it, it would take all the power away from it. Okay, it'd be a bonding experience of laughing and joking.
Right. It would actually be pointless and a complete waste of our time. And then on the alternative, if people did work with me to open up some doors to greater places, doors of communication to other people.
Why don't you assume that's just going to happen and keep rolling with this and never ask for it again? Honestly,
that's what I try to do. I just say, hey, we're going to get somewhere. Let's just play with all
be organic with this, because if you're begging for something to happen, trust me, you're waiting for a door to open and you're going to close every other door because of it.
Scott, don't assume that, please, because I'm not asking.
I've seen it.
I'm stating a frigging fact. You don't have to actually, here we go. That was a reaction to the truth. Okay? Because I'm stating a fact. Yes, we could do this to change the reputation and drift and, you know, devalue the disrespect that was offered to me. I could go in that direction and take charge of it. Or, as I've been saying, if we find ways for me to succeed, that shit will drift away in the past, and it will not be anything that people even worry about. Because you're right, Paul, in my life, when you hit me, you swing at me, there's a lot of stuff that comes out. My life is crazy, and I'm an open book. So
the point is, it's the same experience from ground zero inside of Talcott Command Center. It's the same experience. We're under attack right now, like we all have. We're in our command center. We're under attack. Margot Davey, me putting up the skid mark video, whatever. We're under attack. If we can free ourselves from that space, hey, we're under attack. It doesn't matter. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. And furthermore, this is just talking on a metaverse. We've already said it all and done it all. It doesn't matter. Wherever it's going to go is where it's meant to go. Just take the power right out by surrendering. That's what I do every day. I take the power right out of it. Because you see what they do to us, Talcott. Oh, you're in front of the fireplace. Oh, you got this kind of voice, whatever. Oh, Paulie's a fat heroin hamster in a trailer. They're always going to try to keep you where they're at with what they think will affect you. If we let it affect us, we'll live the way they live. We're going to go beyond how they live by taking the power right out of those situations, by owning who and what we are and surrendering the rest. They can't do nothing to us. They've already shown us that. Threw you out of 3 jobs, condemn you, call you this, call you that, put you on record, whatever. How has it affected you day to day?
Right.
Seriously, other than in your mind and feeling, how has it affected you? Get up every day.
Wasted my time. It's wasted my time, and it's created interruptions into what I do hope to grow. You know, because now I got to be interrupted instead of the focus on, you know, important shit, maybe success or change.
And you learn to accept that? You don't think when I'm on my
Paul,
broadcast?
I accept every day. I've accepted what's happened. I don't think you've accepted what is happening. And what is happening, Paul, God has brought us together with some incredible opportunities. If we'd stop friggin' fighting, we could discuss some of the things that they're right here. We've got success right here. I just can't reach it yet. I'm asking for some help from Paul,
and I'm telling
anyone who's
I'm
willing.
giving you the key. They say these people come to me and they go, just teach me timing and this and that. And they go, okay, here's the key to all of it. Surrender to the moment and whatever it brings. If it brings skid mark, surrender to the moment and whatever it brings. If it brings Talcott at the UN, surrender the moment and whatever it brings. If it's ending legal secrets and the wars, whatever it brings. We are not controllers of this realm in this universe. I don't always exemplify this, but I know it's something we need to work on and practice. If
Hey,
not, then the moment
amen.
will control your inner space because you'll be hoping for this, wanting for that, having expectations for this, and that's creating your own suffering.
How about this? Let me address this comment real quick. TBE, you are still backstage. What the F am I doing here? Again, your questions are going to have to be answered by yourself. Please forgive me. I should have made it more clear that at this point, yeah, I'm not bringing you back. Glock body outline, you as well. And Tommy, even you too, brother. We'll catch up another time. Okay.
Yeah, it's not medication hour yet, so you folks can go lay back on your bunk.
Well, it's not necessarily that. I mean, actually, I kind of do want to bring Tommy up. I love that guy, but I don't want you two to just turn into this.
Yeah, I got to get out of here anyway. I'm getting out of here. You go on with
All
your
right.
thing, Talcott. I love you, but, you know, I'm going to do things from time to time to shake everybody up. If you get caught in that mix, you got to look at that. I'm not going to stop doing that. If you love me less for that, well, then you don't really love me, and you don't know who and what I am and what I'm about ultimately.
Paul, let's really throw him a twist. I'm telling you, let you and I talk. We'll shake things up like nobody's fucking expecting.
We talk every day, Talcott. We talk for thousands and thousands of hours.
I mean where Paul listens rather than teaches.
I
love
listen
you, brother.
very
Have
well,
a good night.
Talcott. I listen very well. I'm very present and aware. I have clarity, and I'm open to receive.
Speaking of listening, fellas, I'd like to say a few things about the broadcast today. Damn, Jack, it was nice to see you taking charge, throwing people like Toilet Boy Earth, or whatever his name is, you know, out. He was a detractor from your show. And, dude, I just commend you. You've been doing great solo. I think you rock it solo. The way
Can you
should
comment
do it.
on what he should do with the whole skid gate? Because you were the
actually where I'd rather take the conversation is this question that I've withheld. I would love, Paul, to trust you with access to my StreamYard so that we could work together and co-create some shit. But after what Moose pulled, man.
For you to try to equate me with the moose creature is laughable in any area of life, but okay, I'll accept that.
And that was a bit, Talcott. I told you after it was done that it would never happen again. It never did.
Well, that's something Paul would say too.
Surrender to the moment and whatever it brings. We were practicing that day too. Surrender to the moment and whatever it brings. We're here back again.
You guys were practicing that?
It was his birthday, and I was in my imagination, brother. I'm sorry.
We were practicing that for you.
No, you were imposing that lesson upon me, and I've been prepared. I've been learning how to surrender and re-strategize.
Right. That's part of the problem too, Talcott. To avoid yourself investing in the wrong people, places, and things, you have to start discerning better. What your time, energy, attention should go on. So that might even mean that might look like throwing me out and giving me this sometimes. I don't know. I can't be the arbiter of that for you.
Good night, Paul. Love you, brother.
Anyways, you're kicking ass, Jack, so I'm going to let you do it.
Thank you, Moose. Hey.
Yeah, but I shit my pants once when I was a kid, so I'm looking at that skid mark trademark and thinking maybe I ought to, put that in motion. I might take that from you, Jack, if you're not going to use it.
Dude, I was riding a bike out all the way to the toilet, and the fucking girls was the only one open. And I, son of a bitch, I wasn't going to use the girls, but I went in, and the son of a bitch had no toilet paper. So I said, I'm going to make it home. So the long way would have been around the neighborhood, but the short way was down over a fence through the creek. I got my bike to the other side, and fuck, there was no holding on. So rode the bike about the last quarter of fucking mile, half mile. My dad pulled up to me in a van, and I'm only 7 years old, and I'm fucking crying about this time. Fucking, I can't even. And Dad had to hose me off on the side of the house. He's like, "You're all right, son. You're all right. It happens to everyone." So just the fuck ever. I don't give a shit what they say. You were young. It happened. It's over. And Hey, if
Right.
it's
But Scott, here's
he
what
your
I'm
T-ball
trying to
coach?
point out. Actually, you know what? It's entertainment.
there you go.
Tommy, welcome, brother.
Hello,
You've been
Jack.
patient.
I thought you'd know I was here to totally support you on that thing that just happened.
I trusted you were, however, what I didn't trust is that it would work out well.
I know
Okay.
you're used to us going at it, but I don't always have to get loud. Sometimes I escalate with the environment, but I had that one cool as a cucumber. I've been on a different channel all day trashing his name. Justifiably. That's why I showed up looking like this. Because I can teach you his style. The thing you said he should teach you, it's called fake it and just keep faking it. And most people are taught that, like, at this point you want to, like, at some point make it. But if you're calling yourself coast to coast with like an average of those numbers, and I'm not a number person, you have not made it, sir. You are posing to punch down, maybe.
Tommy, that face that you did on that other broadcast with the big head, I mean, that almost looked like a cartoon version of Paul. And I was thinking that you could be.
No, I have a Paul filter.
Is that
I
what
do
it
have
was?
a Paul filter. No, it wasn't that, but I have one.
Crazy.
Yeah, I've only dropped it once. I only Paul filtered once to Hiroshima the world to let them know, like, that's
What
there.
was that one that you did? That, I mean,
That is just
Oh
a
my God.
warp,
pull it
like
up right
that
now?
distortion circle.
can you pull
Like
it up
anything.
right now? Or no, not with the face. on
Not
it yet.
because you're not if the guy that's telling us a story about getting hosed off by his dad at 7 years old. No, you don't get filter. I like you, Scott, but that's boomer chit chat bullshit. It's a plague on these panels.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Actually,
Told ya.
I don't know.
no.
Character comes from the mentality. I'll show up how I want to be,
Tom-
and you'll know that cosmetically.
Okay.
But
fair
have
enough.
you put Jack Talcott on your face, Tommy?
I've put a lot of people on my face because there's a scary Snapchat one that it's not on this, it's on my phone. But I took a picture of my veteran friend just to try it out, and it freaked me the fuck out. And then I sent him a video of me as his face saying, I know this freaks you the fuck out because it freaks me the fuck out while I'm doing this right now. It was creepy. And it was just off taking his smiling front-facing pic, throwing it on Snapchat, and it made my face way creepy version of the Kanye
Okay, so
thing
that was my
doesn't
next
Guys,
question.
fuck
that's
with me
kind
like
of-
his face.
It's just an overlay, though. It's not a deep fake. But
That is just an overlay, exactly, and it freaks me out. The deep fakes, forget about it, dude. AI real-time deep fakes, forget about it.
The way this is, did you guys see the thing that Cage posted his little video, short video today about introduction of his channel?
I don't
used
have
a-
respect for Cage anymore. I wouldn't have.
I
done it.
encourage you to. I encourage you to look it up. Maybe I can drop the link, but whatever. It's he said in the comments it was all written and put together by AI. It's looks like Andrew Tate promoting his channel. And it's
Have
like,
you seen the Joe
holy
Rogan stuff?
shit.
Have you seen Joe Rogan, Samuel Jackson, and Trump play D&D? And I forget there's a couple people that got in on that.
No.
In a voice sense, we're already at like 15 seconds of your voice in a thing, and it's almost got you to make. Did you see where that girl was faked for a kidnapping? Like they called her parents with AI voice of her and tried to get a ransom, and somehow they found out. But yeah, they already faked it over a phone, like Terminator. What's wrong with
Hey.
Wolfie, Mom?
Actually, I'm wondering what we should do, guys. I'm feeling satisfied that we covered the discussions, the topics that I wanted. Hopefully, I think we had some good conversations. We saw some
Right.
relationships.
I didn't show up because Paul was here. I showed up because a show that EBT isn't classy or cultured enough to see the value in, while saying it was a bore because it wasn't drunk phone calls. I was inspired to come here and tell you I think I can simplify your little war issue you have going on. Because the people are right when they say you and Paul just cannot team if by views and logic of those views alone you guys can never team. And in order for him to team, like you have more ideas of direction and structure than you watched him have being there longer than me. So when you take me opposing your views while being your friend, opposing his views while not being his friend, and still going against both of you to say, get that Aaron the fuck out of here. Do you not see how war is inevitable if we're just being nice and rolling with it? Someone is going to get to a point where it's like, Aaron's in charge now, and I am loading some fucking mags. You're never going to talk some stuff out, Jack. And that's why you just, when you do war with something, you will desire to end it. That's why you go to war. You've lost all other options.
I want all wars to end. I'm a very
This one isn't.
man.
We can't even hurt each other or break each other's connection, and that's why it'll just go on and on until Paul dies of a cardiac thing. Because there's a reason he doesn't do whatever somebody suggested. Oh, boot camp? Paul would not finish boot camp. Sorry. Not with that attitude and that physical condition. He would not get through boot camp, and you did. That's why you get a goddamn check, right? God, this is Joker as fuck. I just don't bother with the voice.
What is? Wow. Hey, you say sometimes, dude, you overwhelm.
All the time, Jack.
I know, but here
it's a game on these screens. 2 years, 2 years of high school drama, Jack. I'm running laps around you people.
I know, it's crazy.
And you're trying to take
all the
on
time, Jack. It's Tommy, Jack. That you got to do.
No,
that.
Dick.
Right?
No, Dick. You like EBT did not view the whole stream that people showed up talking shit after they didn't see the beginning. Dude, it's
I liked
free,
it. I was
Dick.
having fun.
What? Well, I never have fun with you, Dick. I never have fun with you.
Wow.
I'd rather talk to Paul than you.
Much.
What do you think of that?
Beating Dick. You're always abusing Dick, and
I did go through that. It's a challenge of the celibacy. It's a challenge of the celibacy.
Please hold on for just a moment. I want to do something here.
And I'll never say that again. Get Dick out of here.
If you can't stop for just a moment, golly geez.
We're good, Jack. We're just having a little fun. Go ahead.
You may be answering my question. I was going to give the chat, those who are paying attention, give them some input. What do you think? Should we continue this panel? Because I feel like it's like getting.
If you didn't give Caesar vote before, don't give Jack one. You fucking slime. You Ghostbusters 2 slime. If you didn't vote at London Man, don't give this man his Caesar execution. You wouldn't give me the Caesar execution. I'm bringing the recipes. I'm
not
here to
a
help my
call
friend.
for execution. It's like, maybe, do you guys have some topics? I mean, it's.
Oh yeah. We could stay on that war thing. It wasn't settled. Feel free to respond, Jack. I don't like war either. It's hell. Have you watched some of this Ukrainian shit where they took a tank point blank against Russians? That shit was grim.
Hey, all of.
Can we go back to evil, Jack? Can we go back to the evil?
No, I got enough evil for everyone as far as trigger.
Well,
I was here when I saw Paul was here. I was like, hey,
Tom.
The good and evil thing, the subject that we were on, I like that, where there's a dichotomy. Good with.
Hold on a minute.
I might even change the filter.
Drew was in the chat saying,
down,
I missed it if you had it. Hold on, Dick.
I'll bore you guys to
he was saying that.
Let him go.
Did you say, Jack, that evil is good is all in one? It's the same.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you explain that to me? Because I'm kind of confused with that.
Can I try and clarify for you, Jack?
Please.
If we look at good and evil like two sides of the yin yang, one being dark, one darkness, one being lightness or whiteness, as in white side, poor side. But each one has the opposite colored eye. That's to signify that sometimes good comes from evil, like a guy that does meth and gets his life together. And then sometimes good turns to evil, like this fucking community for the most part.
All right.
How was that?
Let me try a different explanation.
Well, that's the dichotomy. We got to be the different temperatures, It works for stop-ins. I'm a stop-in kind of guy.
The idea behind here, actually, let me kind of step back from the question a little bit. Good and evil. I think we can all say they are. Good and evil exist. We know it. It's part of the experience. Okay, but good and evil only exist within the paradigms of duality. Because beyond the paradigms of duality, there is the totality of the one. And so it's within the one that we are, and it's within the one that good and evil can be experienced. So the good and evil is within us as a one, and then with us as the greater one. Does that make sense? I mean,
because that yin
it's
yang, it
part
like
of the
swirls.
experience.
It's a cycle. Yes,
Yeah.
you're right, Jack. And
Well,
you must master your shadow. You must master that dark half to keep that
Hold
carousel
on.
going,
Let's go
baby.
back to Steve though, because I got what he said, and Steve asked the question, so I want to make sure that
Yeah.
he got what he said.
No,
Please.
so here what it is fighting the evil. It's like fighting it every day to stay good. It's like
Absolutely,
it's like the
And
fucking
yes, I think so. It's absolutely you're the yin yang, to explain it a little different than Tommy did. It's the same principle, but you see, in the darkness, that could be total chaos. And a Christed being could walk into that room full of 1,000 people full of shit and piss and vinegar and turn it all around and turn
Not
all that
necessarily.
chaos into order.
No.
Or vice versa. Well, no, that's
it's
also
fighting.
the other side of yin yang.
It's fighting
Jesus
being a
didn't walk
monster.
around changing the hearts and emotions of people in real
No,
time. That's a
not
bunch
what
of
That's
bullshit.
what I'm saying, that the good could spread. Jesus, not himself. He could be the one that spread to Paul.
So could you. So could you. Any of us could. It's
absolutely.
called words and
It's called
intention and being
lightness in
real.
the darkness. And conversely, if a dark being went in, like, the Joker went into Batman's world, into the fucking into the Bruce Wayne manor, and they're having an affair, he could start turning people dark.
You don't get writing, my friend. It's not that cut dry. Like even Bane was trying to give Gotham back to the people. Was he dark? Yeah, he had some methods that weren't good. He was going to blow them all up in that plot, but what he was saying was still the truth of free will to you decide what is that dark versus light. Because I come from a place where they thought the light side was covering this planet and white people. That used to be the good guys in their minds, just like Al Qaeda. Small mustache, good guys in their minds.
Let's
That's why
come
there will
out of
always
the-
be war.
There will not always be war when we
Yeah, we'll all
end
be
the
dead.
war.
Yeah.
Tom,
I'm just
there
keeping
always
it real.
has been war. There's always been battles. There's always been resistance. But I believe we are entering into a new age. And the battle between light and dark, the spiritual battle for our physical behaviors and actions, it's conducted in the mind. So the battle in the mind is...
It's going to be in society, though, I think.
Well, the individuals make society, so there's really no separation.
And the individuals, as individuals, will choose, am I cucking to the use of my digital currency, or am I going to figure out what to do?
Well, let's not focus on currency, because currency
That's
isn't
the
even
task
part
at
of
hand.
this discussion right now.
Very much the
Tommy.
part of the control you're talking about.
Hey, can I interfere?
Please.
Sure, he doesn't want me to get too direct.
So no,
detailed.
listen.
Let's stay broad.
I've never gotten more than literally 2 words in here, but I would
Yeah, you
like
got a
to say
daddy name.
something. Jack, listen, Tommy, you can call my name out or whatever. I don't even know what's down there, but that's fine. What you're saying is dead on, Tommy. We have to worry about now, Jack. You say it. We have to worry about the now.
Because that's that switch.
What Tommy's saying is what we have to worry about.
Once they do that, you don't
man,
reverse that. That's why you got to do something soon.
This is fucking reality right now. Okay, if we're not worried, if we can't figure out what are we gonna do when this whole currency situation actually fucking goes through, bro, you might as well.
Max,
you can laugh and whatever, but
Max, you're missing the point, dude. Right now,
okay.
Right now, the topic was not on fucking currency. The ego,
it's all part of it. That's the new
Tommy,
war.
I'm going to throw you if you can't.
You get that from your daddy.
No, I get that from my choice of respecting myself. And when I
you got Moose as a producer, and you respect yourself. Come on,
continue to be interrupted. It's showing it's showing a lack of respect for myself. So, Max, I get what you're saying, right? And Tommy, even to give you credit, yes, currency is part of the reality we live in, but the talk was not about currency.
No, I understand.
The talk is about, well, oh, that's right. Where I was going was in the realm of consciousness, in the heavenly realms of thought. So in there is where the battle of light and dark is. This currency stuff is a damn distraction that humans have been conditioned into. Well, if you think money's important, guess what? You're going to obey. Simple as that. So we're going to rise above the problems of currency when we stop creating problems between us. That's the point that I'm trying to share.
Hey, Jack. So I think if you put in perspective that what he's really Max is trying to say is that the money may go away and nobody's going to have any kind of currency. We are going to have to start growing our own vegetables and raising our own chickens because the economy is just going to be stuck, right?
I'm saying way before we even get to that point, I'm saying this communication we're having right now will not exist much longer if this continues.
Listen, here's how you're a little off. There is going to be a bounty of money when it's CBDCs. They'll probably have problems that they'll be like, just like when you stayed home, we got to pay you this. And it's going to be great. And then Elon's going to be like, you know what, my robots do this. So we don't need you to do this. It's going to be great. And then after you get that money easy and they're handing it to you, just CBDCs, just digital, who cares? Then they'll slowly China you, or you just won't get CBDCs. And by then you need your CBDCs.
Guys, actually, if you guys listen to me, what I'm saying, even though you may disagree and you may have disbelief,
or we may have took the amount you got from your,
I have plenty of evidence that supports my words, and the what I'm explaining is the truth. That we are the ones, we are the saviors everyone has been praying for. It's up to each of us to get off our asses and change this world so that we don't have everyone going off and starting their own little farm, trying to starting wars with others, to protect their hard work and their, we can change this entire world when humans wake the fuck up. And I'm pretty sure I know that's why I'm doing these videos, these streams. I think God is using me as a wake-up call.
Wait a minute, Jack. Are you saying I can't have a homestead, Jack?
No, of course not. What I'm saying is we can create a better world where poverty and wars do not exist, where addictions become a thing of the past because we promote healthy living instead of oppression and domination and, these threats that we perceive and we create between each other. We are literally insane. The only time that matters is right now. Right now, what we could be doing is saying, hey, all right, you're right. What can we do to get a hold of those people who are in positions to make some, changes? How do we get a hold of those people who are participating in the corrupt government? How do we get them involved? How do we get some of these wealthy people, that are making these stupid decisions for profit, destroying our planet? How do we get them? How do we reach these people? I believe through communication.
Jack. Hey, Jack, I truly do not believe they want to be reached.
I don't care. You don't want to be reached. That's what I'm seeing. See, you're assuming others don't want to be reached, either one, because you don't want to, or two, you can't believe them wanting to. But your disbelief is not my problem. And it is, because apparently that's my role, is I share what God has filled within me, and everyone else feels the need to bring their criticism and disbelief for me to battle. So
they already know, Jack. They already know. You don't get to that level without knowing. They
Okay,
already know.
Max.
So,
Okay, so should we quit? Should we not even try? You know what,
no,
brother?
no,
I've put
absolutely
you-
not.
I'm
No.
going to separate us because I'm reacting to you, Max. And I don't like the way that I'm responding and reacting with you, so I'm going to separate us.
Haha,
I've said-
Max. Ah.
Well, I've said as politely as I can. And if
I
no
don't know
one
who
else
the hell
can
that
see
guy
this,
thinks he is. He was way out of line.
no,
Yeah,
he
he thinks
wasn't
people
out
don't
of
want to be
line.
reached. I've been waiting for a reach around all day, Jack. I know Scott's feeling the same way. So,
Dick, you're another one who's been resistant to what I say as well. So,
Oh, bye, Dick.
well, because
Hey,
when you
Jack,
start
I gotta-
going into the
It's what you
socialist
say.
kind of thing, I've always been honest with you and upfront, Jack. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You know, I'm not going to put sprinkles.
I
on the
know.
cupcake.
You've
We gotta
never
be straight
allowed
with each
your
other.
disbelief to be resolved. You've wanted to continue the disagreements, and your narrative about me
But
has
I show up and I
flip-flopped and
continue
gone
to
back
listen,
and
though.
forth.
Don't
You're
I? I
inconsistent
do show
in
up
the
and
way
I
you
continue to
present
listen.
yourself.
I
know.
give you
You
the respect
do.
of my consciousness, and I don't generally interrupt that much.
You're right, Dick. With me, for the most part, although when I do try and speak, you just don't give a fuck if I'm trying.
And I'm a real
you
annoying
just
dick.
keep
I do
going.
get that. That is true.
But
I own that.
you know what? It's who you are, and I don't fault
Yeah.
that. I know for a fact you're just where you need to be, and I appreciate the
Thanks,
fact
Jack.
that you have shared your time and attention with me. But what I am seeing is you have been resistant and have not allowed us to resolve the disagreements in your disbelief.
Yeah.
And
I can't argue with you.
But
I got a lot of
Dick,
resistance
please-
with a lot of people because I don't agree with any man, you know, completely. So maybe
well,
that's something
but
about me.
this man, this time, this opportunity, I'm really, really encouraging you to try and figure out how we can resolve this, because should people believe me, I believe all things
Well, how
are
can I resolve
possible.
it? Tell me how I can resolve it. What can I do for you today to close the deal on this?
Well,
Resolving
resolve your own contradiction, and let me try and present
let's
this.
point it
And
out
maybe
here.
I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I
Right.
know you to be a
Could be.
man of faith. I know you to be a man of faith, one who understands and appreciates the unity of the one.
Mhm.
If you understand that, and God is good, and the Christed image is the way we're supposed to be, what would make you think that the world cannot be changed to a utopia or a heavenly realm?
No, it has to. I agree with you. That's the millennial reign.
I want to
it's
feel that
pathetic,
one.
or it's that we just
No,
shape and
shut up,
carve
Scott.
it. We're definitely gonna create an equilibrium. It's even just the creator's design. You see the cycles of this, how it goes through systems that are very efficient and working well, and then all of a sudden it leads to this collapse because of the greed and the gluttony and the nature of putting your power outside of yourself. And that's where my crux of the conversation comes in, that we obfuscate our responsibility and we give it off to a governing of the mental. And it's the same question I was asking Toilet Bowl earlier. Where is the authority? Because if you're saying the book is the authority and that's the inspired word, that's great. However, you're corroborating that through a man. So at the end of the day, someone is discerning, someone is making a judgment. Now it's a matter of who you trust. Who is your authority? Is it outside of you, or is it inside of you? So I always go back to the micro. It's between me and God. If there's a community, if there's a tribe, and we're working together, we're of like mind, that's a blessing from the Most High. But I have to get myself right to be honorable, to actually, be of benefit to that. And so I just try to live that way. And I assume that through that, and have seen through my testimony, that I'm going to attract the people that I want around me through that energy. So I'm a fisher of men. I'm looking for people that are willing to stand, and I don't need to agree with them on everything. So there are things I agree with you on, Jack, and I really respect you in those areas. The places I don't, we got to get you right. We're going to get you walking straight here. So,
well, or if you want to bring any specificity specificity to the disagreements. Let's hash it
I'm
out,
just
because
joking. I don't want to change it.
I'm
It's just the
seeing-
socialist side. That's the
Dick,
part that is the issue. for
well,
me.
that's your problem. Then you're a waste of my time if you can't see the value in what I'm
Jack,
offering.
you want to change the world, right?
Well, you
Jack,
said
you
let's
want to
get
change the world.
specific though. So let's address
gotta
that
start
issue,
right
the
here.
socialist issue. That's the problem.
Well, actually, no. Here,
because I'm a voluntarist. I
Dick,
believe in voluntarism.
Understand. And so here, once again, here's the pattern. I'm telling you there's a disagreement, and rather than, well, it immediately goes into what you think. And I already know what you think enough to know there's a disagreement. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to respond to what Steve said too, that my first, the first ones I have to convince is here. That's not true. Each of you is on your own path. Okay. I can present the truth. I have presented the truth. I've explained myself, the purpose, why I believe the things that I do in many, many different ways. And they're all available. But Dick, I was telling you that I've been experiencing resistance. And it's not just from you. It is from this entire world. Now, we can blame me that the world resists me, or we can consider that I'm saying, guys, that there's something pretty spectacular going on here.
I'm resisting everyone. I'm resisting everyone equally. So don't take it offensively.
Okay.
If you ask Paul, I bet he'd say the same thing. If you asked any of these other characters,
all right.
I
So
have
there
my
you go.
guard up. I'm not looking to just be
Dick, that
an
is
open book and just
conditioning.
play a bunch of games with people. There's specific
Dick.
conversations I want to have for specific reasons, and that's where I try to focus my attention.
Right. But limiting,
I like the entertainment and
yourself,
having fun. There's that side too.
Yep, I know.
So you're wasting our time here, Jack. You got to keep defending yourself instead of spreading what you want to spread. You got to keep defending. You got to keep answering these questions from Dick. He's just running a bit on you.
I know.
Like, seriously, you want to change the fucking world, man? We got to look at, try to get all of these people. We can't even get along here. You know what I mean?
I know.
So
I know.
To get your word out, you got to get along.
Any of you, and none of you seem to want to help. None of you are saying, "Hey, what is the disagreement?" Or it seems most are stacked against me, and I'm fine with that. But the reality is, I have to convince nothing. God has it all, and you guys can answer
I was
to God.
presenting there was the
I will.
furthest thing from a bit, though, right, Jack? That wasn't a bit. I'm telling you, there's specific conversations that are purposeful to me and actually follow my life passion and all those pursuits. And there's other stuff to me that's just a bunch of white noise, and I don't really care.
I know.
So I try to get in where it makes sense. A lot of times I just listen. And if it's something that I'm passionate about, you're going to see me get in there and throw punches if I have to, or block if necessary. I mean,
yep. Did you consider the words I just said? Did you consider
you want
what
me
I
to consider dropping my opinions? And I was listening to you say that the other day, and I said, you know what, I relate to Jack because there is truth in that. I was actually in my imagination, in my mind, and my thoughts, and running through a bunch of stressful things in my life. And I chose in that moment to say, I'm just going to let it flow. I'm going to go out in nature, take my shoes off, walk around a bit. The weather's getting better. It's beautiful. Get some sunshine, vitamin D. So I got out of my opinions, and that's how I relate to that. But I'm not always there. It's not a static place. I'm not going to stay stagnant in there. I have to come back into my carnal mind, utilize the tools God gave me, and employ it, and try to execute and shape and carve this realm into what I want to see, because I have to be the change I want to see in the world, and that's what's going to reflect outside of me. So I'm doing that inner work, and I'm continually being steadfast to trying to honor what the Most High has given me. Some would say you don't have much freedom. You're a big dumbass, and it's like, okay, well, I've been given little, so I'll be faithful to that, and we'll see how it goes.
All right. Hey, Dick.
Yeah.
I'm going to start wrapping up. I see Aaron joined. If he's willing, I'd like for him and I to have a few minutes at the end together. But
and Jack, I just want
Dick,
to back.
Here's something.
Thanks.
Yep.
You got me all stressed out, Jack. I'm under the spotlight here. You got me under the microscope. I'm really not fitting the bill, huh? I'm measuring up, or what do you want me to change, Jack? What can I do for you? I'm just being me.
Well, I was going to try and speak, Dick, and then Aaron said he had something to say, so I was allowing him to speak, and you just. Aaron?
I just want to have you back, Jack, because you've been showing up so consistently for all these men and women here, and I see you catching a lot of heat for just wanting to stand up for what's right. And I just want to show up for you, brother. And I just know everyone at our core wants the best world possible. And the only way we can attain that, I know, is to agree upon this foundational law of reality, which is literally the best thing ever. It's what we all want. It's what we all do everything we do for. And it's this, like the Beatles sang, to love and be loved. And so let's show some love to Jack. Like, this guy shows up so consistently and so with such a good heart. And there's no reason for us to bring all this conflict. We can see the best in each other, because I know that's what actually puts us in a position of leadership, is when we're in a positive state, uplifting one another. This is exemplary leadership. Like, we can only lead through demonstration. And so, brothers, I would just encourage us to use this platform to demonstrate our true manhood and show up for each other as brothers, and especially this brother Jack, who's showing up for us. Go ahead,
Aaron. Thank you for that. I appreciate the encouragement and observations. I encourage others to please consider what he's saying. Now, I did want to address what Dick was saying, though, about his distrust. That is the ego. Okay, the ego is that which disrupts and prevents and resists. The ego is that which limits the flow. Okay, and for humans to flow, what I've envisioning for this platform is for the flow of discussion to evolve, right? We could have some beautiful conversations, sharing different perspectives and different experiences regarding consciousness, regarding spirit, regarding love, goals, whatever. We're all living these lives together, and this time, these platforms, it's a method. It is a method for us to connect, but these connections have been unhealthy. And Wizard, I see you in the back. I've told you before, you're not welcome here tonight. Until you change and show me different, you are not welcome. Not welcome in my home.
Okay, but what if, and maybe we're in alignment and I don't even realize it, but what if you just tweak that one thing where it's that everything that you present, you have to sell people on it. So they would have to become involved by their own consent, their own willing participation at every level of the process. If any point they want to walk away, that's completely valid and would never be something that would be taken from them, because that's the free will part of it, right? So as long as you have that and you're selling people and they're by their own consent saying, I want to be involved in this because it makes sense, it's fruitful, it's efficient, it's a machine, man. It's just solving the problems of humanity. I'm down. I can get on board. See where I'm coming from? So could we align on that?
I don't see as many disagreements as have been presented. Admittedly, Dick, as you were talking, I didn't hear any disagreements, and I allowed my mind to go to the chat. So
sold. Hook, line, and sinker. Signed, sealed,
well,
delivered.
unless you want to repeat the highlights of what you said.
No, the agreement's done. We're in agreement. We're in accord. Let's sing in harmony. Hard hat, you start.
Hey, guys, the reality is this is our lifetime to live. If we're going to live, we get to choose the directions we try to live. I'm sharing others with others, those who are here on the platform, in the chat, and who may be tuning in later. Please, I believe this is our lifetime to do whatever we can. I want to see if God will allow me to experience, finding a way to end wars and make a better world before we leave. So while it's fun to hang out on a Friday night and BS and gossip and, work on each other like this. Let's face it, this has been a distraction from learning, growing, improving. Hopefully not. Hopefully people have learned and grown and improved, but
I hear you, Jack.
let's see. Well, here, El Perro, I came with peace when you said you were at peace, and you denied what you said, singularly because it was me, dumb effer, LOL. So you were not sitting in backstage flipping me off, Wizard, El Perro? You've not been running around slandering me for months and months, offering me absolute disrespect and mockery. You're such a hypocrite, dude.
All right. So, what if we were to apply some sovereign law to this situation? Because I know y'all, to the one speaking about trust or lack thereof, I've been in the most life-threatening positions months on end. And what I learned is that when I trust in the greatest good in literal assassins, that can override their agenda to do me great harm. And this, gents, is what we all have to rise up with: a fierce, faith-filled tenacity to override the agenda. Because whether you all want to believe what I've told you or not, the only reason why they're all going all in is because they all know you've all been gifted everything you need to literally take dominion over this world as sovereigns. And I really encourage you to take this seriously, because we can't keep fumbling around like this. We just can't. Everything depends on this. We, the people, need to come together and rise up. These mafias that are running the world, they suck you in, and you have to do what you're told or you die. So they've got a bit of a handle on unification and the power that comes from that. We need to do better than that. And we can't handle this like cackling girl, chitter chatter, gossip, BS talk. Like, we've got to step up as true men and get our act together and unify in the most sovereign laws on earth that are the laws of God. And when
What
we
do you
do
mean
this,
by come
that's
together,
our
though?
only.
Just kind of curious what you meant by that, like come together.
Here, if I can answer this.
You know what I mean? Like
that's
everybody
what
masturbates together at once, of course. So
No,
you're saying, but
Dick.
we're not all going to come
Dick.
together.
The answer is,
Dick, are you
when
serious?
people share understandings and emotions, when emotions and understandings, feelings and perspectives are shared with one another, there becomes a bond, there becomes a synergy, there becomes a relationship. And without sharing,
you're right, Jack.
It's the selfishness of us, our distrust, that prevents relationship and feelings, mutual understandings being shared.
I always just wonder how stuff looks in a practical standpoint. So I was just kind of wondering what he meant by that, how that works out in a day-to-day type of circumstance. Are you talking about communities? You can gather where I'm going with that. It's just kind of a probing question.
Can I answer? Coming together in a unified intent. There's nothing more powerful, especially when that intent is anchored in the supreme sovereign laws of God. If you know the quantum unified field that is made up of that text, because quantum mechanics says story creates reality, there's no greater story on earth that has been redundantly programmed into this unified field. And so this is why the law of God is the most powerful force on earth to redirect our world. And I guarantee you, the courts know that the law of God reigns supreme over the fraudulent fictional statutes and codes.
Yeah, I get you, but you're saying come together in mindset, right? It's a spiritual thing of significant. Well, it's not even
Brother,
significant
listen,
in that sense. It's like
when you think, you generate spirit.
One accord, though, right? One mindset. Is that where you're going?
Yeah. Look at the founding fathers, the Bible. All of it's about coming together in unity, a greater union.
No, I'm out. See, it's a hive mindset. No, I can't do it.
Okay, but Dick,
step out.
Hold on. You're defining what nature is. Nature, even in the animal kingdom, you see the birds flock together. Everything moves and flows. There is a unified mind of intelligence. It doesn't take away the separateness or the uniqueness of an individual.
Right.
It just brings the uniqueness in together, so the diversity.
Can I give an example, Dick? Like this original law of God that we've understood, which is to see and know the greatest good in each other. What this does, brother, just imagine this law applied in this group. We would celebrate each other's individuality and know that anchored in this law of God, when we see and know the best good in each other, just like a body celebrates the individual parts of it that are necessary to the functioning of this radical creation we know as our physical body, the universal body is the same thing. And so when we do what the heart does inside the body, which is edifies and uplifts and gives life force constantly, unconditionally, every heartbeat is sending life force into the body, which is the only true, like, based on law, brother. Every word we speak is meant to be just like the heart, life-giving and loving. And the Son is the first word, and that's why in court you can trump the whole system by saying, hey, every word, I only consent to that which is life-giving and loving in word form in this court. And you'll trump the system because you know real law. The first word was the light
Well,
of God, the Son.
let's keep ourselves out of the courts. And I get what you're saying. Yes, the life bringing and loving and the power of words. Brothers, sisters, those who are listening, the words we think, the words we speak, those are so important, because that right there, when we offer that action of thinking and speaking, it is the first form of creation. And we are creating either light and love, illuminating the truth, or we are offering negativity and confusion.
Well, remember, right, brother? Like, matrix means womb, and it's because every time we exhale, we're releasing thought seeds into the matrix, the womb that is manifesting reality. We program the matrix, so it's literally us that's creating this.
Hey, thank you, Aaron. I know you showed up kind of late, and I don't mean to cut this off, but we are already 2.5
Yeah, I'm
hours.
out. If I got to be a part of that to be here, then I won't come. But if you want me to come and listen and just, enjoy the conversation, I can do that.
Thank you, Dick. You're welcome. You're a good brother, man. Interesting.
Thanks, Jack.
I don't understand, honestly. I don't understand some of the disagreements and resistances that people have placed on me. You're one of those, Dick, but I do appreciate and respect what I've received from you. Hard Hat, you've been pretty quiet tonight, brother.
How you doing, buddy? How's it going?
I feel blessed.
Couple magpies are just picking on one other magpie right now. I was gonna come fucking break it up, but now they've flown in different trees. Anyway, how you doing, Jack?
I'm feeling blessed, brother. The topic tonight: relationships, emotions, connection, understanding. We saw some of that happening. Relationships that can be challenging, and I've heard you talk about some of yours. You're another man who's a good example. I like you, brother. But
Well,
I am wrapping it up.
Well, I'll talk honestly and from my heart. I'm afraid to say anything or I'll get thrown out. From what I've seen, it's a fucking death pedal. But anyway, it's I don't know. I've enjoyed watching your balls drop more and more, and lately it's I know you say you don't want to do entertainment, but fuck, has it been funny for me? I love it how your humor, your I don't know how you say it, the nuanced humor when you're like throwing someone out. But anyway, I fucking laugh on it. Relationships, I don't know, man. I'm still kind of happy being by myself, though I realize I'm in heat again for sure. I don't know if it's because it's springtime and the changing of the seasons, but I don't know. I still got a strong friendship with my ex, and I'm helping her out and still just offering all the dog food and cleaning the teeth of the dog and stuff like this, right? All that extra shit. I don't know. I want to see her do good. So I don't know, relationships, right? It's nice when you can move on When you've kind of had a time with someone and you go off in your different directions, that you can still love each other and fucking be there, right? I don't want to see 10 years from now she's in a bad spot. You know what I mean? I'll do anything I can while I'm here, right? I'm probably fucking jetting. I think I'm jetting, going more north, getting out of the craziness, even where I am. But while I'm here, I'll fucking do whatever I can. But anyway, I'm afraid I'll say anything and get thrown off, Jack. So anyway, you take care tonight. You got a girl now, Jack, or no? Are you retaining still?
I'm still living as me, yes. So
Right on.
Thanks, Art. Have a good night. Hey, it is Friday night. Maybe I'll go see if there's any nightlife to engage with. Aaron?
Yeah, brother.
I'm ready to shut it down.
Sounds good.
Any final words from you?
Just thank you, and I apologize. It's been such a rough session, man. I appreciate you showing up. I really see your heart, and I honor it, and you deserve all the support you can get, man.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I'm going to wrap up on my own here. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for the many guests who showed up on the panel tonight. Thank you. Looks like it's getting dark. Thank you for those who showed up. Thank you for those in the chat participating. Thank you to the mods for helping. I didn't pay a lot of attention tonight, so I trust everything is all right. To those who came, who showed up and were not brought on, today is a day, and maybe tomorrow can be different, but you choose. Each of you gets to choose the results of the relationships. It's pretty much how it works. I mean, at least with me, I don't push that many people away. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, everyone, even those who did not come on the panel, are my brothers and sisters. I am friends. So what you allow us to be in this experience together is up to you. You know, maybe I'm just a distant guy you know nothing about, you just want to make fun of, like this fool El Perro. You are such a liar, dude. Been over 6 months of his narcissistic BS. That is the pot calling the kettle black. You are a severely angry, bitter, confused man who just blah, 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 blah. And, you know I shouldn't be offering disrespect, but I also trust, you know what, brothers and sisters? God's allowing me to be me. And I spent a lot of time, and I'm still working to improve what it means to be me. But I cut out all the fun in my life, and I took everything real serious, and I tried to become a Christed, devoted man of God. And whether it's the right choice or not, I decided that was not the path for me. You know, those dedicated ascetics. I've mentioned my thoughts, maybe enter into the dedication of a monastic life, but I chose to be different. And what I believe is, like I've said, I believe God has allowed me to discover my way to the way, which was the way of the Christ and the way of the Buddhas and the ancient philosophies that have always been. It's just living as a pure being, a spiritual being, having a human experience. And brothers and sisters, this human experience is divinely created. Just simply accept that fact. This life is by the grace of God, we are. And by the grace of God, you've learned what you've had. You have what you have, and you know what you know. For some reason, that is all you. So now the question is, what do we do? Brothers and sisters, I think we, you and me, and those who you know, I think we are here to come together at this time on this planet to change, to break away from the things of the past, to rewrite the rules of the future, and to rewrite what it means, redefine what does it mean to be a human. Let's stop making excuses and start, presenting the best that we can. I'm pretty sure that's what God wants us. It just makes sense. Become the best you can. If you're going to live, why not become the best you can? How are you going to become the best you can if you don't try? If you don't admit there's room for improvement? I don't know. I'm not turning into this a lecture. It's been long enough. God bless. Thank you, brothers and sisters. Seriously, thank you all for tuning in. I look forward to where this future may bring. And until next time, choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear.